And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Don't read them. And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Don't read them. Girls read comics. Girls have always read comics. Problem solved. White boys, comic book reader. Don't buy my book. Don't buy my book. I literally can't even think. We can have a little conference on that. Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? Don't read them. What comic books are you reading? What comic books are you reading? Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? Don't read them. What comic books are you reading? What comic books are you reading? Comic book reader. Comic book reader. May I curse? White boys, don't read them. We're very worried about comics right now. Independent comic sales are down. Mainstream comic sales are down. Everything in the mid-list is way down. You don't make a lot of money that way. There is nothing inherently masculine of heroism. There's nothing inherently masculine heroism. Girls read comics. Girls have always read comics. Problem solved. Magic. Going into the red on singles and not coming out until the trades. Stores are closing. You don't make a lot of money that way. So don't. Comics are booming.
Turn around. Look at what you see.
Well, what do you know? It's me, Ethan Van Sciver. You're you. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I'm a 28-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming, disarming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. I try to keep it all together, try to stay balanced and focused, try to remember that I am just a servant of God here on this planet and a servant of you, the customer here on this planet as well. Great big Gina Carano fan. Talked about that a little bit. Yeah, actually, I mentioned that I'd had a nice telephone conversation with Gina Carano, and Andrea was like, you couldn't resist telling people that, could you? And I was like, well, you know, it was cool. It seemed relevant at the time. I didn't talk about the purpose and directive of the telephone call, just that we had a nice telephone call and talked about cancel culture, and that reaffirmed everything that I said about Gina Carano being a super kind and worthy. The fact that this is happening to her is vile and disgusting. She is worthy of praise, and she is worthy of everyone rallying around her. So that's good. It was a good conversation. And finally, trusted member of the media. How are you guys? How are you guys doing? Great big Bear Grylls fan. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the I got rid of my Disney Plus, so I can't see it. Where can I see it? Is it on the internet somewhere? I'm not really sure. Let me see. Humble because you stumble, because you're too fat. Oh, I forgot to say that. I'm humble because occasionally I stumble. All right, so yeah, the here's where we are. Today was a very important day. A lot of stuff happened today. The stuff, look, you put in orders, you plant seeds. I make things and then I send them to be produced, and then I just have to sit there and wait patiently. And sometimes it seems like I'm going to be waiting forever, and then nothing will ever show up, and we will never get to complete our task of making comics, making products, sending them out to you. Today was a good day because three things happened. Three things came in. First and foremost, no, not first and foremost. First was the warts and all bags all came in today. That's great. I'm expecting more warts and all product to come in by the end of this week, and we're almost there. We're almost there. Where are the fucking trading card binders? Where are they? I need to know. I need to know where they are. Send them here. Can't really do anything without them. But that's the thing. When you're actually producing a campaign with a lot of different moving parts and pieces, it can be a little bit frustrating. You want to make sure that you're giving people a lot of fun stuff, but at the same time, when one thing is missing, everything is missing. So anyway, we got the bags in. We have a few more things to go before we can ship warts and all, but that's okay. Also, today I got the sample Dale Keown Cyberfrog t-shirt. I gotta say, this looks like a rock t-shirt to me. Even better than that. Look at this. You can't even really tell here, but this is silver ink. I don't know if you can see that. Silver ink on the Cyberfrog logo. The sleeve. Is it this sleeve or this sleeve? It's this sleeve here. Let me pop this out. Look how cool, man. The sleeve's all caps comics logo is sharp as hell. This is really, really good printing. This is just really good. One of the nicest shirts. No, this is the nicest t-shirt so far. It's expensive. That's why I, spent a lot of money on these. This is fantastic. Actually, you know what it reminds me of? It's like, hey, I just went on Cyberfrog the Ride at Universal Studios. Is that going to happen one day? Cyberfrog the Ride? And then you come off it like, I went on Cyberfrog the Ride. So I'm approving this sample. Actually, I officially approved the sample. Sent them to production. As soon as those happen, those will be straight to eBay. The biggest thing that happened today, here we have Josiah Haynes, who says, good to see you're feeling better, big boy. I'm feeling okay. I've been worse. Cranberry Langer said, shared your butter song. My lady friend gives you a nice. Is that in my eye, or is that like thumbs up, Ethan? Good job with the butter song. All right. So today, big shipment, important campaign. We were waiting for Starblades to come in. Now, Starblades is a campaign that became All Caps Comics, and I'm really glad that it did. This is an incredible comic by an incredible talent who is already part of the family. Our friend Kyle Ritter, who colors Cyberfrog, colors a few other things. He's colored for Mike S. Miller. He's colored for almost everybody, in Comicsgate. He just does a great job. And, I don't think I was really aware that Kyle was a magnificent penciler inker in his own right until he started showing me some drawings that he was doing. He was doing some Cyberfrog pinups, and I said, these are good. These are good. They got better and better and better. And then he had his own, suddenly out of the blue, gave birth to this project called Starblades, which looks like an 80s. It looks like it would be on TV after the Transformers, before G.I. Joe. It looks like an 80s property for boys that has always existed. I mean, this is the thing about Starblades, is it's instantly familiar. When you see it, you kind of go, yeah, this is warm. Like I feel like I've been a fan of this since I was a kid. Kyle has captured that evocative mood with this book. Kyle funded this, and it did great. It did incredible business, but making a comic book into reality, bringing it into reality and fulfilling it is a whole other matter. Those people who are crowdfunding their comics already and having any level of success are finding that out. Funding is fun. Fulfillment is not so fun. It's difficult, scary. But once you do it a few times, you get better at it. People like me, John Malin, your boy Zach, and Patrick Thomas Parnell, many others. We've done this a few times now, and it's becoming quicker and easier as we go. But anyway, Kyle had this campaign, and I think he was just I could be wrong, but I feel like Kyle wanted All Caps Comics to publish it, and was just kind of too shy to ask. And so when I saw that it was getting to be a little bit late, I did ask him. I said, "Hey, why don't you let us publish this? It's good enough, isn't it?" And my God, this book is excellent. And we can get it done so that you can move on to other things. I'd rather have Kyle coloring Cyberfrog and Rainbow the Brute than worrying about shipping and fulfilling Starblades. We can do that for him. So he happily agreed. I took over the project for him. It was already finished. Kyle had finished this, a few months prior, and we were able to bring it into reality. And so we waited today. We did a video where we were waiting outside of the warehouse. Incredibly boring. I don't know why people watch my live streams where I'm filming my foot and just talking about becoming a male exotic dancer. I don't know why you guys watch that, but you do. We had a big crowd watching that live stream. And finally, the books did come. They came at like 3:15 p.m. They said to me, we'll be there sometime between 9 and 3 p.m. This is what happens with these people. They give you a window and you go, let's see, between 9 and 3 p.m. I'm presuming, I'll bet it's going to be 11:30, noon, maybe. I better get there at 9, though. I better be ready just in case the guy is a, do-it-yourselfer, kind of wants to get her done, a getter-doner. I better be there at 9. And so we're there from 9 o'clock until 11:30, and I finally decided to call the trucking company and just check in and say, how's it going? And they say, who are you? And I say, I'm Ethan Van Sciver. Here's the address you're delivering to. And they said, I can't find you here. And I said, I gave them my city, and I said, this is where we are. You have a truck. You said yesterday you're coming here. And they said, let me look again. And they said, oh, is your name Starblades? I said, no, my name is not Starblades, but that is my product. That is my product, Starblades. Where is it? And they said, it's going to be there probably towards later this afternoon. We told you 9 to 3. It's going to be more towards 3. So I sent Mikey back. I sent Mikey to my house. I said, hey, build my chair that just came. I got my new, hold on a second. Let me show you this. Chair stream. I got a new chair. It's leather this time. The same chair, but it's leather. Mikey built it. I don't think it's going to fall apart on me. It could, though. Could happen. And got to keep him working. Got to keep him busy. And we showed up again at around 1:30 and continued to wait. And the fucking truck shows up at like 3:15. And it dropped off 3 enormous pallets. Mikey and I took them apart. It was I don't want to do it anymore. I was talking to Zach, and Zach was like, I had to unload my own pallet. He's like, I did it by myself, and I swore I'd never do it again. So I was like, you got it, Zach. You got to just hunker down. Realize that, Mr. Bodybuilder, former Marine, this is part of the job. This is what we do. So brought all the books in. I opened one box of them, and then we put them in the warehouse. And here is Starblades. This is the main cover. We printed I want to say we printed 4,000 of these. And then we printed 6,800 total. Now I'm in real trouble. Like we're sold out. I looked at Starblades. We're overprinted by about 10%, which to me is like, I want to be overprinted by 25%. We're overprinted by 10%. So, the margins are going to be pretty narrow. This book looks absolutely phenomenal. Here's the nice spine on it. Here's the back cover. It is truly a beautiful, beautiful book. We were able to spend a little bit of money. We put a nice foil embossed logo at the top there. Kyle had a thing about this. Kyle said, I don't want, he said, I don't want a logo. He's like, I don't want to make my, and I was like, well, why not? And he's like, I don't want it to cover my beautiful artwork. I said, well, you need to have a logo on there, Kyle. And I was able to put my all caps right here in the corner. So I appreciate that. This looks like a real comic book. This looks absolutely amazing. The print job inside, beautiful, high quality all the way through. I'm so glad we did not skimp. We didn't save a penny on this. I was given the original price. It was more than I thought it was going to be to print this. And I just said, let's spend the money. Let's spend the money. Let's make it good. Glad that we did. So Starblades, tomorrow, we're going to begin bagging and boarding. Now I have to decide if I'm going to continue to just hold this up like like it's The Price is Right. But I have to decide if we're going to have Kyle come visit us, or if I'm going to ship him. I think there are like 750 signed copies of Starblades. Those boxes are effing heavy. They are heavy. Each box has 88 copies in it, and they're heavy. Me and Mikey were sweating it out, moving those crates into the warehouse. So I don't know if I want to ship 8 boxes, roughly 8 boxes to Kyle, and how much would that cost? Because I'd need to do it quickly, so I'd want to FedEx them. Probably cheaper to just buy him a plane ticket. It's his own money. Buy him a plane ticket, fly him up to beautiful, sunny New Jersey, and have him come up and sign it. While he's here, I'll make him sign a bunch of Cyberfrog stuff too. Might as well take advantage of that time. And like Kyle's family. Kyle is family. He's part of the All Caps Comics. He's a part of Cyberfrog. Let's get him up here. I'd like to meet him anyway. So I think that's probably what we're gonna do. Fly Kyle up here. Just got to figure out when's good for him and what that entails. Kyle, of course, is famously deaf mute, so I don't know what it means for him to travel. But let's get him up here. Let's get him to Jersey. We'll get these signed. Tomorrow, bagging and boarding begins. So we're going to bag and board the remainder of these books, other than the 750 that he needs to sign. And then fulfillment should be pretty quick. I hope it's quick. It's only about, let me look real quick here. Let me see what this looks like, this campaign. We're good at this. We're on the ball with this whole thing. We get it done. We're not playing around. Yeah, about 3,500 packages need to go out. So we're looking at 300-400 a day. We can probably get out there. So this should be about 2 weeks. 2 weeks of fulfillment on Starblades, and in the meantime, we can just get warts and all ready. Hopefully, everything will come in during that time period, and we can just roll right into warts and all from Starblades. It'll just be one victory after the next. I love having taken over this campaign. Let me see the comments here. What are the comments saying? I can't wait to read it when somebody sells me their copy. Dang it! Why did I wait so long to back? Why are we accepting comments from people who didn't back the campaign? Why are we? I got to reset that so that we can't just have any old people just writing whatever they want. What do you mean? Stoked, can't wait to read it. So exciting. I know Kyle's book is going to be amazing. Thanks for helping fold and saddle stitch Ethan. There should be a comma there. Nobody folded or saddle stitched me personally. Gary Hughes says, excellent, can't wait to read it. How long do the backers of the tiers that include an autograph have to wait to get their perks, since Kyle has to be flown into New Jersey when it is convenient for him to sign roughly 1,000 books? It's actually 7. Hold on a second. Let me see. Can I see it here or no? I have to go to view campaign. I'm pretty sure it's more like 700. How long do they have to wait? I don't know. Whenever Kyle can get up here. Signing 750 books is, it's a lot, but it's one day. I will make him buckle down. He might stay the night here. I might just ship him out, pick him up in the morning, 6 a.m., put him to work, and then put him back on a plane at 6 p.m. Go home. Get it all done in one day, not even a night. Kyle be like, I thought we were going to party. I thought we were going to hang out. No, you're going back to work on Cyberfrog. Go home. Meredith Gross says, is there a way to pick this up from the warehouse? I live like 10 minutes away in South Jersey. No, there's no way. Anyway, can you imagine that? Just people coming over on, I'm here to pick up my order. What if we did that? What if we ran our comic book studio like a bakery? So you could just order your comic and then come pick it up, or just delivery. What if we did delivery for Starblades? We have delivery boys. We get Mikey in a car, dropping off comics to people who order them. $25 from Lefty but not Loony. He says, new to channel. I've heard you say you've been canceled before. Can you explain how you were canceled from comics and who the two women are in your live stream introduction? Need this to understand the context of your movement. How was I canceled? All right. So I was canceled because I voted for the president ostentatiously. It rubbed everybody the wrong way. Before that, I was, rather loud and open about my Republican views. And that rubbed people the wrong way, too. But people just had to deal with it. It was no big deal when Obama was president for anyone in comics to be Republican because we didn't have any power. So who cares? Ha ha ha, weirdo. These 8 years belong to Obama and the Democrats. But when Trump was elected, I had a MAGA hat, and I took a picture of myself wearing the MAGA hat the night of the election after we knew he won, with a grin on my face. It was like this, yes, or something like that. I can't remember what it was. Seemed normal to me. Seemed like a normal thing to do, but it drove everyone crazy. People who I thought were my friends walked away from me, were cursing me. And I was hate mobbed for the first time in my career. I didn't know what that was like. Now I'm hate mobbed every day. It's wonderful. But at the time, I didn't understand what it was. And I'm used to being loved. I'm the guy who draws Green Lantern. I don't understand. Why is this happening? Basically, over the course of a year, SJWs in the comic book industry mobilized to get me removed from DC Comics. I had an exclusive contract there. But what they did was they got every writer to agree not to work with me ever again because they started to tell everyone that I was a white supremacist. This was at the time where Richard Spencer was all over the news. Anybody who voted for Trump was probably a white supremacist. And who wants to work with a white supremacist? So I was, I had all kinds of trouble. Then they started writing articles about me. And at the same time that all this was happening, I discovered Comicsgate. I was watching all these videos about what was going wrong in comics. All this stuff was happening simultaneously. And before too long, DC Comics let me know. They said, hey, we're not going to renew your contract. Never fired. That's not how it works because you don't work for anybody. You're a contract agent. But what they can say is, we're just not going to give you any more work. We're not going to renew your contract. We're not going to give you any work. So that was shocking. And then at the same time, see, that's bad enough. But at the same time, your reputation is being destroyed because there are people who are actively out there all over the internet who spend all day long, every single day on Twitter, on social media, spreading rumors that you are a racist, you're a bigot, you're a white supremacist, that your entire goal in life is to harass, which is one of their words, women and trans people. And they use language very effectively to destroy your life. Hey, who wants to be around somebody who harasses women and trans? I don't harass women except for my wife. I don't know any trans people. I didn't know any trans people. He's racist. I asked a black guy in comics, in indie comics, who was going around calling me a white supremacist. I said, let's have a conversation. Why don't you come on my show? I'm going to show you I am not racist. I'm not a white supremacist. That guy used that opportunity to claim that I was harassing him because I'm a racist. So there are all kinds of little traps that they put you in order to destroy you. And they're very, very, very good at it. And I made every possible mistake. I apologized. I thought I was dealing with sensible people. My apologies were proof of my guilt. And they did a great job on me. People watching me hopefully learned from my cancellation because I did everything wrong. And now, fortunately, I'm able to educate people. Who are the women in the live stream? Well, there's one woman in the live stream currently. Her name is Kelly Sudaconic. And the reason why she's in the live stream, or the reason why she's in that video, is because it's very instructive. It's something personal. I don't like Kelly Sudaconic. That's not the issue. The issue is that in that video, you're seeing distilled into just a few minutes what the attitudinal problems of the comic book industry are and why we are where we are, why Comicsgate exists. An arrogant attitude from comic book professionals who are meant to be creating a product that other people can rely on. This industry is, it's an ecosystem. Comic book professionals are hired by comic book companies. Comic book companies then use distributors to distribute product to stores. Comic book stores, 2,000 of them in the United States of America, are dependent on us to create product that is sellable. They order 3 months in advance. The system is completely stacked against them. It is non-returnable product. And therefore, it's important that we create stuff that's commercially viable for these stores. When you have comic book professionals who are essentially celebrities in the comic book field, they certainly do feel like they're celebrities. We certainly, I'm going to say we certainly did feel like we were celebrities. Mistreating fans, telling them to go F themselves, saying that I'm going to be using the comic books that you're reading, comic books that you were have been reading for some time, to espouse my own bizarre, peculiar, radical politics. And if you don't like it, I'm going to call you a bigot. And also tell you don't buy them. So you don't like what I have to say, don't buy the comic books that you've been buying your whole life. Tough. I don't know. It's magic. It's magic. If you don't like what we're saying, don't buy comics. It's infuriating for a bunch of different reasons. It's infuriating because as fans and customers, people should be expecting better service and better treatment than that. It's infuriating because there's a whole, like I said, ecosystem of retailers who are dependent on comic book professionals to be a little bit less self-involved and to be thinking a little bit more about creating a widget, a product, a comic book, a story that is going to sell. So it's funny to see her say that, display complete contempt for the consumer, which is what you see there, where she's just like, comic book readers, magic, don't buy my shit. And then to see another clip of her saying, look, sales are down. We're worried about comics, everything. It's almost as though those two things are connected. And that is why Comicsgate exists. Comicsgate exists because political radicals invaded the comic book industry and made it inhospitable for anyone who was not willing to automatically look at everybody working in comics and outside of comics and immediately progressively stack them, disadvantage some and advantage others based on immutable characteristics. And those people who were not willing to fall in line or at least keep their mouth shut were rapidly dismissed from comics while the comic book industry collapsed. 1 second. In the meantime, there's a voracious hunger for comics. You're seeing Japan. This is what I was yelling at this morning. Manga comic books are selling hundreds of thousands, if not millions of copies. People do want to read comic books, but they want stories. They want escapism. They want to see, they want to believe in characters and escape into a world. SJWs, radical activists within the comic book industry who are currently using their power in the comic book industry in order to pretend that they're advantaging and giving opportunities to women, people of color, and trans, who are secretly just ushering in other radical activists to further ruin the comic book industry in order to create social change and political advantage, are not interested in that. They do not create realistic characters that people can buy into and believe in. And you know what it's like to be involved in a TV show, to be heavily immersed into another world. You watch it all the time because the characters are real to you. They're imperfect. They have flaws. They have character traits other than the color of their skin that make them believable and make you want to consume more of their stories. That's what we have to be creating in comics. We have to create that in comics. They are creating that in Japan. They're creating that in manga. They're creating worlds, escapist worlds for people to enjoy. Marvel Comics used to do that. I used to be able to go and take 75 cents to the drugstore and buy more and more of the world of Marvel Comics, which I believed. I believed it existed. Hey Patrick, I see you in the back room. I'm gonna be solo, as it turns out. I'll catch you next time. Sorry, pal. Thank you for showing up. I believe the world existed. I believe that it existed, and I could be a part of it as much as I had 3/4 to to involve myself. That's magical. That is magical. They've lost that. They've just lost that ability to create that illusion, and it's cost them money, and it is cost us everything that we had. There's no reason why Americans cannot compete with Japan. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to create comic books with these incredibly popular world beloved properties, these beloved IPs, to compete with manga. So I do blame partially, not entirely, but I do partially blame the attitudes displayed in that video. I'll play it again in case you haven't seen it. You don't know what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying right here.
And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Don't read them. And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Don't read them. Girls read comics. Girls have always read comics. Problem solved. White boys, comic book reader. Don't buy my book. Don't buy my book. I literally can't even think. We can have a little conference on that. Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? Don't read them. What comic books are you reading? What comic books are you reading? Would you please get your politics out of my comic books? Don't read them. What comic books are you reading? What comic books are you reading? Comic book reader. Comic book reader. May I curse? White boys, don't read them. We're very worried about comics right now. Independent comic sales are down. Mainstream comic sales are down. Everything in the mid-list is way down. You don't make a lot of money that way. There is nothing inherently masculine of heroism. There's nothing inherently masculine heroism. Girls read comics. Girls have always read comics. Problem solved. Magic. Going into the red on singles and not coming out until the trades. Stores are closing. You don't make a lot of money that way. So don't. Comics are booming.
So, compare that to Stan Lee. And that's what I would say. I would say compare that to Walt Disney. Those are my two idols for where I want to go with all caps comics. I'm just one guy, but so are they. They're just one guy. Compare that performance, that dislike, that contempt for the audience with Stan Lee. And Stan Lee loved you. You really felt like Stan Lee was your friend, didn't you? I mean, the way that he communicated with his customers, and they were customers. Got to stop calling them fans. When we put them in fans, we put them in this kind of obsequious, fan stands for fanatic, which is already putting somebody in a questionable position, but they're customers. These are people who spend money or have money to spend on our product, and therefore they are deserving of incredible respect. We don't go white boys. We don't say don't buy my product. We say please buy my product. Please buy my product. I worked hard on it. I think you're going to enjoy it. Let me know what you think, and if you don't like it, there's something you don't like about it, I'm all ears. I want to know. You want more of it? I'm going to make more of it. I'm in this to make money. I'm going to let people in here. Patrick Thomas, if you're still watching, come on back in. I'm going to let Shane in here. Hi, Shane. How are you? I changed my mind. I feel like talking to you guys.
Wait. Were you keeping us out?
Patrick came in here. I was about to go on a whole rant and a tirade.
I can leave.
And then no. I watched the chat. This is part of what I'm saying. I watched the chat, and the chat said, "Hey, what did Patrick Thomas Parnell do?" And the answer is nothing. He did nothing wrong, so he deserves to come in here. And so do you. It's great to see you, Shane.
Well, you put up the link. I wasn't gonna come in because I noticed you were on a rant. I was like, well, why is he on a rant? But he's putting out the link. I was like,
Yeah, I know. Well, it was a really good super chat question. I like being able to just talk about what Comicsgate is. there's so many there's such an effort by these same people to mislead people about what Comicsgate is, what it's for, and what it means. Your boy Zach recently said Comicsgate shouldn't even be a thing right now. Should have been over in 2018. It's like, oh, there's a problem with customer service. Comics are suffering because of it. Let's fix it. But it persists. It persists because people haven't learned their lesson, because they're not trying to learn a lesson. They're trying to destroy comics. It's as simple as that.
I saw you were talking a little bit about that manga list. That is crazy. Just the fact that we can't even touch a list anymore in the mainstream, or Marvel and DC can't touch the list. I mean,
we're nowhere near it, and I don't know why.
Well,
people are asking, hold on, real quick. People are saying, who's the other woman? Gail. Gail was in the video, but Gail was distracting from the central thesis. Gail's whole thing was she had that yay thing that she was doing, which was kind of, but it was kind. Gail actually seems to like her fans, even though she talks to them like they're kids, like she's a kindergarten teacher. That's interesting. There's a part of the comic book industry that does that, but that's not the main focus of what Comicsgate is about. Comicsgate is about a certain element of contempt for the audience. So we wanted to refocus that. And now the video, that little short video, boomerangs around from like contempt to the audience to end result, which is comic sales are down for some reason. Why is that? It's perfect. It's artwork.
We didn't recognize one of the characters or one of the names of the books that were on that list. It was named Chainsaw Man, and we Googled it. And it's like some dude with a chainsaw for a head and 2 arms and blood splattering. I'm like, that used to be Wolverine. I used to be able to buy that. And the guy has a
chainsaw for a head?
It's
he has a
all
chainsaw.
platform that people's hearts are being ripped out and stuff.
Yeah, she's saying people's hearts are being ripped out and stuff. I was like, I used to be able to buy that at Marvel Comics when Mark Silvestri was on Wolverine, spikes coming out of him and everything. And today it's just like, Wolverine's talking about his sexuality and illegitimate children maybe and whatever, and page spreads of him just talking. I mean, it used to be a character that you could, blow up, slash up, whatever, guts coming out. He quickly heals and right back into action. Wolverine comics today, there's no action in it.
I remember when they took away his cigar, that's when I knew we were in some trouble.
Patrick, I was there when that happened. I mean, you have to understand, like, that was shocking to me because I was working on New X-Men, and Grant Morrison wrote this great, like, 2/3 page splash image for me to draw of Wolverine on his Harley, and he's in the rain, and he stops outside of a facility where I think it was actually an ambulance where they were dissecting mutants inside the ambulance, and he takes a minute to light up a cigarette in the rain. And I drew it, and Joe Quesada called me and said, change that shit. We don't want to promote smoking. I was like, he's about to go in there and kill everybody in that ambulance. Are we promoting that? Maybe Wolverine's behavior in general isn't something that we necessarily want to promote, nor do we want to tell people that everything that we're depicting is something that we're recommending that kids do. Wolverine smokes. Everybody knows smoking is bad, but frankly, it looks cool, doesn't it? Why don't I smoke? I never smoked a cigarette before.
Not even once. Let's try it. It's awful.
I like my cigars. I like to smoke a cigar. Look at this. Yeah, see, that is so bitchin' and cool.
And Marvel had a character that was like this. He was called Wolverine. He used to stand with claws out, arms in the same effing pose.
Yeah.
Blood coming off. And it was cool as a kid. And you can't buy it today. Now, for a while, I was like, well, it's because of Fox, right? Fox owned X-Men, the movie rights. So Marvel I thought they were just kicking X-Men down a flight of stairs. Well, they bought the Fox. They bought Fox, and they got X-Men back. And they're still kicking X-Men down a flight of stairs with the Hellfire Gala thing. Look, it is almost like a lost art form, the Western comic superhero that the East is picking up. It's like we gave them our customers. That's the thing. Nobody's really come to terms with it. We put a bow on it. We said we're going to call these customers this, that, and Japan came in and said we can provide for them if you want. You know, we could make books that they'll buy. My Hero Academia, it's a superhero book. I mean, it's not great,
Shane,
but
everything that I do, like all of my instincts right now, are to appeal to me when I was 12 years old. And I really feel like you can't go wrong when you're going, okay, let me remember who I was as a 12-year-old, and let me just try to do something that would have made me laugh or me think, wow, that's bitching, as a 12-year-old. And when you do that, that looks like something that I would have been, holy shit, that's awesome, as a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And by the way, I still think this stuff that I still like the stuff that I liked when I was 12. I think most adults do. You kind of go, I like the Transformers still. Can you make it more adult so that I can still enjoy it? And that's where the Michael Bay Transformer movies come in. That's why they're so successful. We still like this stuff. And it still works because it resonates with us on that level. It finds that kid in us. I'm sitting here doing this. These are my, this would have killed me as a kid. I would have pissed myself laughing at the age of 12 to have severed unicorn head pencil toppers that are covered in blood. That's why this is the kind of stuff that I want to do. This is for Rainbow the Brute. What do you think of this? And they smell like strawberries too.
I like it. For some reason, when you said pencil toppers, I just assumed the head would just stick on top of the pencil. I didn't think the pencil would jab through it. That's actually really cool. Presumably
the head's already been chopped off, and now you roast them like a spit. Like
a kebab.
You don't want to. Otherwise, it's their head on a pike, which represents that you conquered them in some way. That you put a king's head on a pike or something, like a politician. With a unicorn, you sever its head and then you roast it. So you just put it on a spit, kind of a thing there. These are the Rainbow the Brute pencil toppers. I've made 4 different variants. They're part of the Rainbow the Brute campaign. You can find the link in the description. One of these will come in every executive lunchbox. You're not going to know which one you're going to get, though. Which one do you want, Patrick?
I like the blue skin, pink hair one.
Yeah, I like that one too. But I like the orange one with the X for the eye too.
That was good, yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get, but you're going to get one of them, and that's good. We also put I just started this. I just started putting a Rainbow the Brute troll doll into production. So you're going to get a nice action figure of Rainbow the Brute, but his hair is going to be real. And I'll show you what that looks like as soon as I get something to show.
You should get Kyle to shave his beard and head and just use his hair to plug into the doll.
I don't think people want that. I don't think people want Kyle's body hair on a Rainbow the Brute doll. Well, do you?
I mean, it'd become like a voodoo doll.
Yeah.
2 for 1. I mean, he'll all of a sudden be coloring Cyberfrog and start levitating around the room. I mean, there'll be laughs.
People are shocked at your behavior. Ew, Shane, says Chimera. But you never know. His ball hair, says Mortal B, nut hair. Ew. That's what people would be thinking, though. People would be going, that's his pubic hair. I don't want to do this with it and then like mess it all up. See, that's what you do with the troll doll. You go like this and like wiggle them around and their hair goes. And if those were like Kyle's pubes
and one flew out and got in your mouth,
it wouldn't. I just don't think it would be good. I just don't think that this is what we should be doing.
But it's gonna be his beard.
No, his hair. I think his beard will be plastic and molded on. I mean, okay. I don't know how expensive this is going to be. Yeah. The thing about this is that when you put small numbers of things like this into production, they're very expensive. Like each frog tongue grabber was a little more than $1 to produce, and you're like, well, holy shit! Like those belong in gumball machines. You should be able to put 50 cents into a machine and get one of those. That was what they were designed to be. Yeah. But obviously they cost way too much for that. So that's only because I made a limited number of them. If I had made 1 million of them, they probably would have been a nickel to produce. But when you're making these horse heads, these unicorn heads, I'm probably going to make 10,000 of them. I might make 20. I might make 20,000 of them. They're going to be expensive. A Rainbow the Brute troll doll, which would probably cost 50 cents to make, if you made 1 million of them, will probably cost something like $2 or $3 to produce, which ends up being very expensive when you're making 10,000 of them. Extrapolate that out. You go, that's where this money's going. Ethan's making all this money. Where's it going? It's going to me making shit for you, like dumb shit. You're giving me money and I'm spending it making dumb shit. Martin says, Ethan, is Shane aware that you met Barnaby? A lot of people were talking about that today. I filmed outside of my warehouse. Zach was completely skeeved out about this. I got a message from Zach that said the fact that you have cats outside of your warehouse skeeves me out. Like, he's like, that disgusts me. I was like, what do you want me to do about it? Like, Zach's got all these issues like that. I'm like, what am I going to do? Eliminate the cats?
Well, the cats are good to chase away the mice and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if I have mice, I feel like that's a bigger problem. Like, cats cannot chew into my boxes and break things and, all that stuff. Like, mice will burrow and nest into your warehouse. I don't have any mice, so I'm not really worried about, I don't need cats. Those cats are just there to eat tuna fish from people dumb enough to bring them tuna fish. I don't, but Zach said, hold on, let me, I'm going to see what Zach said just to remind myself here of this. I was shocked by it. I was shocked by this. Let me see. Everything's a problem all the time. Oh yeah, I was sending him pictures of my warehouse, which is, you guys have no idea how bad it is. He says it bothered me more that there are cats near your warehouse. I hate cats. All right, so that's an issue. But let me show you what the warehouse looks like if you want to see. I don't know if you do.
Yeah, I do.
Probably boring people. Let me see. Open it. Should I do this? Should I show you guys?
Yeah, I want to see some stuff.
Well, I mean, don't make me beg.
I don't want to make you beg. I'm just, hold on. Let me see here. One more. All right, that's enough. That's enough. We got enough pictures. I was showing Zach a whole photo montage of what it looks like. It's a living hell. Share screen, share audio in case I want to play the Starlight Cats video. Here we go. So this is the hallway. Now you can remember the
I remember that room was much emptier. That room and that hallway the last time I saw it.
Yeah, these are all right. So these might be salamandroids here. These are salamandroids on this wall. In here, these are executive edition warts and alls. These are also executive edition warts and all. Here is more. These are oh my god, these are salamandroids. These are warts and all compendiums. And then right here, yeah, this is one of the rooms. This room was meant. We were going to use this room as an assembly room. There was a table here, and we fantasized that there would be people putting together packages here. And I don't know. It might end up being that again, but it certainly isn't that right now. Right now it is warts and all executive edition. 275 of these cartons that weigh what do these weigh? There's something like 38 pounds or something like that, lugging these around all day long. Craziness. So our warehouse is jacked. It's full of stuff. And that's what it is. I think that's what success looks like. It's success by an incompetent person, I think is what that depicts. Like, what if somebody who was stupid was really successful?
They say God loves the stupid. I don't know if that's true. Like, he favors the stupid. They kind of get through life. I'm not saying that happened to you. I mean, you're smart. I think you're a smart guy, Ethan.
Well, I mean, anyway, did you see this?
That is sweet. Bam, bam. Look at that.
Fast.
Look at that label on there, all caps comics.
Sleeve looks good.
Yeah, the sleeve is my favorite part. From now on, sleeve art is important. That's one thing Hugo Boss understood with the Germans. It's like what's on your sleeve is important. You want to have a logo here, if you can.
How the hell was Hugo Boss not canceled? We're all talking
Um,
about cancel culture. How the hell did they not say you cannot make clothing anymore?
I don't know, but I'm glad that he's still allowed. Hugo Boss. Look at this. Cyberfrog, silver ink around the back here. I'm going to make a Salamandroid one just like this. This is the sample. I'm putting these into. I just put them into production today, so we'll be able to put those up on eBay soon. I don't know. I don't know why Hugo Boss was not canceled. It's about time they pay for their war crimes.
Yeah.
You ever go in a Hugo Boss store? T-shirt costs $300. Who are they kidding? Who are they kidding, Shane?
I don't know. $300 for a t-shirt. They call it designer t-shirt too. That's the thing. It's like you can put designer behind anything and charge whatever you want.
Designer
You're right about
books.
that. Yeah, that's what we need to be doing. This t-shirt here, my Elvis t-shirt, I bought it at Target today for $8.
Sweet deal.
Who's the dummy? Who's the dummy? You're right. You know what, Shane? You are right. I am not stupid. I'm very smart. My $8 Elvis shirt. Starblades today, guys. Starblades is in. It's in the warehouse.
Go full screen on that. Let me see the bling on that. I saw a reflection.
Yeah, that logo is looking sweet.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this was there. You can see it blink a little bit there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and it's raised. You go, oh, look, I feel it. It's like one of those Hallmark greeting cards from the 70s.
Be careful. Don't cut your finger.
It is sharp.
Yeah.
It is sharp. Star Blades. You see. Great artwork from Kyle. All of the back covers look like this. I completely did not order enough of this. Like, if this were Cyberfrog, I would have ordered an additional like 50%, but 10% overprinting, not good. This is sold out. The book is sold out. Thank God I closed it down today. I just left it open for a while. I said, Kyle, I really need to close this down. He's like, go ahead. Closed it down. I counted everything up and I went, oh shit, like we're just gonna make it. So Starblades, we're gonna begin fulfillment this week. The book looks good. Here's the black and white stuff in the back. Those of you who like line art stuff, the back is full of it. Look at this exquisite artwork from the great Kyle Ritter.
Yeah, with this book, like everything looks so epic.
It is epic.
Every scene looks, so important.
This is this is absolutely not a lot of diversity here. Seems to be mostly white people.
Well, there's a blue guy.
Yeah, but he's white though. So that's a feature. That's something you might be interested in. Or wait, is this guy? What is this guy here? Is he like Pakistani or something? Maybe that's. We're gonna say yes, he is. Mm-hmm. This guy is. I don't know. He's an Arab of some kind. Starblades on its way to you this week, and boy is it good in every single way, Shane. You won't regret having backed it if you backed it, which I presume that you probably didn't.
I'm not allowed to be logged in, so I don't know everything I back. I say, Yanzi, back this, and hopefully it gets backed. I'm pretty sure I backed Starblade, so.
I hope so. I did. I backed it, and I'm gonna have to probably my copies. I'm gonna have to fulfill to other people. That's how rare it is. Mr. Sophocles says this money is explicitly for you to shake Barnaby's hand in front of Shane. Make it so. So there's a cat that looks like Barnaby that lives behind my warehouse, and this animal was giving me a dirty look on camera. And you think like, oh, he's making that up. No, the cat was giving me a dirty look, like an evil, filthy look. For a long time, I couldn't believe it. I was like shocked at, Shane. All right, hold on a second, because you're not. You're sitting there going, again, Ethan's full of shit. He's making this up.
Animals, they can smell
contempt.
Fear. They smell pheromones, and they work off of pheromones and body language, different things. They don't, they don't have a spoken language. So,
well, interpret this for me, Shane. What are you doing? Don't look at me like that.
I wonder why.
Don't look at me like that. This cat is going to jump right through the cage and rip my face off. That's Barnaby there. Look at him looking at me like he hates me. And then he walks away a little bit. Now watch. Why do you hate me? Oh. He's like, you still have a problem? Excuse me.
Yeah, that cat don't like you.
It's clear that like the eyes are evil.
You guys are probably just having like a rough spot. I'm sure you'll work through it. Little fancy.
I don't have anything to do with this cat. This is not my cat. This is a feral stray cat. But I mean, that was evil. Like it walked a few steps and looked back at me like, what? You know what? You explain yourself. These are your animals. These are your people. Now, I do not stand up for cats. I don't know what that cat's talking about. I'm not feeding that cat tuna. You don't want to come over and say and purr and rub up against me. You want to look at me like that? You want to give me the stink eye?
Yeah. Stink eye.
Damien.
That was
kitty
kind
cat
of a,
Damien.
He had a Jersey attitude. That's for sure. That was a Jersey attitude coming on.
Yeah, like what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Still looking?
Yeah.
You looking? You want to talk a little more? You want to run your mouth? Trencher 1375. Cat smiles by narrowing their eyes. It liked you. I don't know about that.
I don't think that holds up in court when he's dead. I don't think that'll work.
No.
So, what was your rant on the comic book industry? I mean, I feel like I interrupted something you were trying to.
I was saying everything is going so good, and then I was about to do a little dance of joy. I was about to pirouette. You ever do a pirouette?
No.
Pirouette is when you it's like a ballet spin, kind of, you know.
I do one every day.
Like that? You can do that, like on command. Could you do that on live stream?
No, not in here. There's not enough room, and I would get dizzy and fall down after one turn and take the whole rack of comics with me. Would it be funny? It'd be funny, especially after a few drinks. It would be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are saying, look at the cat with the slow blink is a good thing. I don't think so.
I don't know. I think I'm not giving up on that cat yet. I think you guys are going to become friends.
I'm not giving up on that cat either. That cat is not. I will find that cat. I will put that cat in a cage. I will take it to the ASPCA. It should not be behind my. Oh, it's going to fight mice. I don't need a cat to fight my battles. You know, if I have a problem with mice, I will take care of the mice on a person-to-person level.
You couldn't take care of the squirrel. I'm sorry, but mice. You don't understand mice. It's a bunch of mice. It's not. You're not just won't. If you had one problem with one squirrel, imagine having like a big problem with like 100 mice.
And the thing is, like just the mice seeing the cat will keep them away.
Yeah.
You got those boxes, Ethan. You don't need them like making tunnels in them.
Well, I'm saying there aren't any mice, but if there are, I will take care of them on a person level. Vince Garrett says that cat was pregnant, so she was man-hating you.
Oh man, well that will be trouble.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I respect that cat's womanhood.
There is that weird parasite that gets in mice, and then the mice get stupid and they don't fear cats, and then they actually will just go up to a cat to be eaten. So then the parasite gets in the cat. It's like really weird. I can't remember what it's called.
What is that?
What is what?
The parasite that you're talking about.
It alters the mouse's brain just so it can get into the cat. It's really weird. I'd have to Google it, but road. So do you think how do you think Marvel and DC are going to react to that? Besides, we just need to have manga make our comics. That's what they're going to say.
They don't care. Nobody cares. Comics just don't matter. Sorry, Zach. They just don't matter in terms of these big corporations. They just don't care. It's like comics. If they die, big deal. What matters is the characters, and the characters are taken off. These characters that were created in comics are taken off outside of comics. Soon, Ms. Marvel Kamala Khan is going to be on the big screen. Who needs comic books? Who needs comics? They're not going to worry about it. I don't care what they do. I care what we do. I said that. I've said this over and over again. These SJWs they have presented us with an incredible business opportunity.
Mhm.
You know, when you see your competition failing and failing carelessly over things that you can do better, that is a business opportunity. It is it is on us to either sink or swim by just being different, being better, being an alternative. Say, oh, they're telling their customers to fuck off. How about if I don't do that? What if I said, thank you every single day. Thank you for supporting Cyberfrog. Thank you for being a part of the All Caps Comics family. You know, appreciate it. Thank you. You have concerns? Let me address them. You have issues? Let me help. I don't say if you have issues, here are some tissues. I don't say that. I go, you have issues? How can I help you? And that's a whole other thing. Now, here's what I want to ask you and Patrick. Now, if we're friends, we consider ourselves friends.
Sure.
What if there were multiple accusations of sexual misconduct against me? What would you do? Multiple, not just one.
Like a Legion of Doom women compiled together.
Yeah, like there were just multiple. Like suddenly my conduct sexually was it was a problem for everybody. I was out there flinging my penis around.
Yeah. Slinging D on the corner.
Well, I want details. I want deets.
Well, I'm just asking. It's not a matter of if I, what I did in particular. Let's just say multiple. Now, would you guys, who are my best friends, Cecil's not here, so I can say my best friends, still be my friend, or would you cancel me like Seth Rogen is doing to James Franco? Look at him. He's not going to work with James Franco, who, by the way, I like.
Yeah. Here's the thing with this is, I thought James Franco handled a Me Too thing pretty decently. Like when he got hit with one and everybody left him alone. But Seth Rogen is such a piece of crap. Like, I don't like him. I don't know why everybody likes him. There's a good Family Guy skit where they make fun of him. Like he's kind of like a beaver and it's him making fun of himself, not being funny. You know, what's weird about this is he's pushing his friend into a bus and getting virtue signals all at the same time. It's like...
gotta admire that. You've got to admire that. If I could push Mike S. Miller into a bus or under a bus, not into one, that would be like, hey, see you later. Have a good trip. You don't push someone into a bus. You know, that's...
Push them under a bus, yeah.
Under a bus is bad. You know. If I could do that while receiving virtue signal points, that would be fantastic, and destroy his life. I guess I would. It just makes sense to do that. That would just be a good business maneuver.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it to you. You know, I wouldn't do it to you.
It's so hard to tell, like, what these guys actually believe. You know, it's like, are they just trying to appease people so they have the next job? You know, very similar to stuff that happens over here in the comic book biz. You know, are they just bending a knee just to shut people up and kind of move on to the next thing? Because I think I saw that Seth Rogen and James Franco were still producers on a show together. Currently. So I mean, it's like, yeah, he's saying one thing, he's doing another, but you know, there's a lot of floundering that goes about, like, when this stuff comes up, and I don't think some of these guys know what to do exactly. They just want to go away.
Well, let me read this and let's find out what goes on with this situation. Seth Rogen has recently revealed that he has no plans to work with fellow actor James Franco. Again, I like James Franco. I do. What did I see with him recently? I've been watching something with James Franco. I don't know. I feel like I watch a lot of things with James Franco.
Rogan's might be mixing it up. He has a younger brother that does acting too. I don't know if you're mixing the brothers up.
No, it's James Franco, and he's playing. What is it that I liked? People in the chat are going to let me know what. Yeah, the movie about the room, Disaster Artist, was great.
Yeah.
But no, it's something more recent than that. And I feel like it's on Netflix or HBO Max or something. and I feel like it takes place in the 1950s or something. No, nobody's the Deuce. The Deuce.
The Deuce.
The Deuce, the porno thing. That's what I'm watching.
Hmm.
It's not in the 50s, it's the 70s. Yeah, The Deuce. It's good. He's good in that.
What is that on?
It's a HBO show. It's like it ran 3 seasons, and it's about how the porno industry started in New York City in the 70s. You know, it's depressing. It's a lot of hookers, a lot of people on the margins of society, marginalized people, I would say. But it is it's really, really good. I dig it. It's by the same guy. It's by the guy who did The Wire, David Simon. So it's a really good quality show. It's not called The Douche. It's called The Deuce, or The Deuces, or something. The Deuce, I think. Anyway, what I can say is that I despise abuse and harassment. These two things, abuse and harassment, these are SJW buzzwords. And I would never cover or conceal the actions of someone doing it or knowingly put someone in a situation where they were around someone like that, explained Rogan in an interview with The Times. There he is. Boy, he's lost a lot of weight. At least his body has. His head hasn't.
Yeah, it's weird.
This is why people are like, Ethan, why don't you lose weight? Because my head, I'm going to look like a lollipop. You know, my head is not going to shrink commensurate with my body.
That's why you got to get jacked.
Got to get jacked instead.
Yeah.
All right, maybe that's what I'll do.
He was like funny in that Knocked Out movie, and that's the only thing I've ever liked Seth Rogen in.
Yeah, I know. I've liked Seth Rogen in almost everything I've seen him in. I have no problem with Seth Rogen as a performer at all. You know, this is just weird. Rogen also took time to take a jab to talk about a jab he took at James Franco when he hosted Saturday Night Live in 2014. He specifically spoke about how he joked about posing as a young girl on Instagram to prank him, further adding that Franco had seemed unfazed. I decided to prank James Franco. I posed as a girl on Instagram. Well, who hasn't done that?
I mean, it's a thing, right? Like taking a selfie in the mirror where your butt's. I mean, I do it at least once a day. I mean, I don't know about you guys.
Anyway, told him I was way young. He seemed unfazed. I have a date to meet him at the Ace Hotel, joked Rogan during his opening monologue on Saturday Night Live. All right. He very much regrets making that joke. It was terrible in hindsight. I also look back to an interview in 2018 where I comment that I would keep working with James, and the truth is I have not, and I do not plan to right now. Wow, what a sellout punk. What a like you didn't know this?
Actually, that sounded like he made a joke that didn't age well. So rather than say I made this joke that didn't age well, I should push James Franco under the bus. I mean, that like I don't know.
Yeah, holding Seth Rogen, holding Franco accountable. I want to hold all of you accountable. I want to hold everybody accountable. It's got to be about accountability. This was a great movie. This is the end, where the end of the world happened, and they were. That was
really just playing themselves.
Yeah. Look at this is my fantasy right here. They've got canned food. They've got rice. This is like my song. They've got
lots of condoms,
presumably to use on each other. I don't. What are the condoms for here in this scenario? In this survivalist bunker.
Well, there could be women knocking at the door, but the radiation poisoning, you really need that condom.
You need to wrap it up.
Yeah.
So A is more important than E. Accountability is more important than entertainment. But if you can have both, if you can have accountability and entertainment, when are we going to find out about your harassment of Yanzi?
Just tune into my show. She usually talks about it. Openly. This is the thing. So an actor, when they go on to film, they're not themselves. So why is everybody trying to cancel that? I get it, and I don't. It's kind of like if I watch James Franco on something, I'm not watching technically James Franco. I'm watching the character James Franco is playing. I like it. I don't get the cancel culture thing. I really don't. That's just me. And then it's like, so what if is he's not supposed to, if they cancel James Franco, is he not supposed to work forever? You know what I'm saying? Like, how long is he canceled? Like, what
Forever.
did he do? Yeah, I mean,
How do you forget harassment and abuse? How do you forgive someone of harassment and abuse?
if you harass some women, Ethan, I would stand beside you. I would.
Well, I would like to, if I could, I would make action figures of every woman in the world and cut their
Right.
heads off on camera.
Mm.
Like that's where I'm coming from. Except for
Right.
Andrea, Yanzi, I definitely
I
would not,
appreciate it.
Patrick, I definitely would not, do that to anyone's wife. But everyone else, including Anna,
Yeah.
I would make action figures of all of them. And on camera with a pair of scissors, I would snip their heads off. Just of the action figures, though, because I don't like action figures.
Mm.
My main problem is with action figures, Shane. That's my main bone of contention. Now, if I did that, would you still be my friend, or would it finally be enough is enough? Enough is enough. I can no longer work with Ethan Van Sciver. He's out there taking action figures of every woman who's ever lived. And I mean, I would go all the way back to I don't know, who would I do that to? Who invented penicillin?
I was actually just having this conversation with someone today, and we couldn't remember it.
Wait, was it a woman?
I feel like it was. That's why the word penis is in it.
Oh,
Envy. Everything is about penis. They can't get their minds off penises and envying them. Penicillin. I would go back in time. I would make an action figure of Mary Shelley, who feminist brag invented science fiction, and I would cut the actions.
Alexander Fleming. I knew a woman didn't do something like that.
Well, what did a woman
Alexander
do?
Fleming. Well, I don't know. I'm sure made a sandwich. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, someone's saying Jonas Salk.
Jonas Salk invented penicillin.
Yeah.
All right. So my theory.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with these actors that get all like ostracized. Very similar to Gina. I think they're just going to go and do something similar to what we're doing, and they're just going to make an alternative.
Here's my issue though. Here's my issue with Seth Rogen. Now I don't know what this guy's up to. I don't know what James Franco is up to. I think he's a great actor, but it's clear that Seth Rogen is his friend. And James Franco has a ton of friends who he works with all the time. My thing is, why is Seth Rogen out there at the forefront announcing that I'm no longer going to work with him? First of all, don't tell me you didn't know. You had to know.
Yeah.
If people are saying they were underage girls, really? Okay,
Mm.
that's something I didn't know. You had to know that shit. And in fact, it seems like you did because you made that joke on Saturday Night Live. I would say standing by your friend would mean not saying anything. Just being like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to talk about Shane Davis and his issues with animals. I'm not going to. I like Shane. I'm not saying that you can't have your opinions. I'm just saying I personally am not going to add to the dog pile.
To my dog fetish. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it. People
I
are saying
appreciate that.
Yeah, that's right. I wouldn't do it. I would just be like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to participate in this witch hunt against Shane Davis, who brutally crucifies dogs and family pets. And we found them in the woods as part of a satanic ritual that's connected to the son of Sam. And that is connected to Helter Skelter and the Charles Manson murders of the 1970s. Did you see that? Did you see this documentary?
No, it's new though, right?
Yeah, Netflix has a documentary called Son of Sam's, and people send me messages all the time, and they go, "This is for you," and I'm always horrified by what they're recommending. It's like, you're gonna really like this. Here's a documentary where one fat guy fat white guy, decides that that the answer to the Son of Sam murder case. Hi, I'm David Berkowitz. You caught me. You know, I'm a crazy guy who has been shooting women with a 44 caliber handgun. No, that's not enough. Clearly, this is connected to satanic rituals that have been going on. More than one people. There are more than one shooter. Where have we heard this before? And this whole thing is connected to Charles Manson and Scientology.
Could be. I mean, you know, you need a lot of cooks in the kitchen. That's all I'm saying for a good serial killer. Was it that all happened on Long Island, right?
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
Isn't that where Cecil lives? I'm saying this. You know, I am saying that you know, that is the rabbit hole. That is a rabbit hole that people go down. And then this guy at the end of this documentary, spoiler alert, he does get a sit down with David Berkowitz, the actual Son of Sam, and it's hilarious because this is how not to interview people. You don't sit the Son of Sam down and go, so were there more than one shooter? And he goes, yep. So were you all meeting at the Satanic Temple, right? I mean, you were meeting at the Satanic Temple with other people and killing animals. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And were you connected to Charles Manson? Oh, yeah. And this guy's entire life's work was corroborated by David Berkowitz, the Son of Sam. It's now conclusively proven. It's called leading the witness, Shane. It's not.
No, I know what it is. Yeah.
It doesn't
I've seen
prove
a couple
anything.
of documentaries that they brought up a possible satanic cult, though. That's not really new news.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Overall, but was it good? E?
No.
Is it worth watching? No. Okay.
Well, I mean, it is the factual part is like the first episode is good because I love famous serial killers. I like stories where, oh no, we're trying to catch them. They're doing this a lot on Netflix and other like we're trying to catch the serial. We're on the news. The cops. We have not. Somebody came into the police station and stole all the toilets, so we've got nothing to go on. This is like I like that stuff. And then they finally catch him, and it's like yay, and everybody's all right now. They did that documentary with what's his name, the Night Stalker, and it was great. And so the first episode of this is that, and then it spins off into bullshit. So I would say watch the first episode, and if you want to know some stuff, some bullshit, and if you want to see the Son of Sam now, like what he looked like in, say, not now, but the 90s, he's in there, and he's just gone, yeah, So sure. They're like, so did you kill this person? He's like, well, I killed some of them. Some of them I didn't. Well, did you kill this one? Yes. Did you kill this one? No. Did you kill this one? Mm-mm. How about this one? Nah. No. I was there, but I didn't do it. What about this one? Nah. I love that shit.
The last documentary I watched on Netflix I liked was the whatever Killing Cats one or whatever it was, where they're tracking down this dude killing cats. Oh,
I saw that.
Yeah,
that was good, man. I like that.
That one was actually really good. That was really good.
The guy was suffocating kittens on the internet, making videos. That guy was a troll. You know, you're really trolling your audience when you're making videos, suffocating kittens on the internet and posting them and going, catch me if you can.
And they basically got together and took certain photos and landmarks and whatever and kind of just figured out where in the world he was through an online community, which is really weird. So, and the cops were no use pretty much in all of it. And actually, they couldn't even trying to. Basically, somebody died. A real person died because the cops would never take them seriously. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, they had some Asian kid
in Canada.
In Canada, and then he cut him up and everything. All that. I don't know how you cut somebody up in your apartment without people knowing. I guess you have to be real quiet about it. You have to get consent, you know.
So wait, he started off with cats and then he started hurting people. Is that what happened?
Just once. He was going to do it. He ended up hurting, killing a kid. And not a kid, one of his gay partners that he met at a club. And this was a really, really legitimately fun documentary because it's about internet nerds. You know,
he didn't just cut the guy up; he put him in a suitcase and threw him in an alley or something.
Yeah,
like he put the body parts in luggage and then just set them out at a dumpster somewhere. That's a hell of a way to go. Like you're just packed into a suitcase. I mean, a couple of suitcases. That's no good.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to get Kyle Ritter here to sign these Starblades comics, though, because I got to figure out. Here's the thing: is it more expensive or less expensive to ship 750 comics to Kyle Ritter, where he lives? Overnight them so they get there safely and securely, or should I fly him up, or should I just put Kyle in a few boxes and ship him? Or ship him home that way. I got to get.
You definitely need to bring him to you. I wouldn't ship that stuff because you don't just ship it to him once. You guys ship it then back to you, right? So that's just too much.
The books will get beaten up. That's what I'm worried about. Why did I take this project on?
It's just a flight. I mean, Kyle can do it, right? I mean, he's not like Mr. T, like he's afraid to fly. You don't have to drug him and tie him to the bottom of a plane or anything.
Should I go down and pick him up, drive him up? That's a nice 2-day drive. I can do it if I drink enough Red Bulls. I could probably make that in about 18 hours. New Jersey.
He lives in like Winter Park, Orlando, or something like that.
I think he lives in Florida, but I'm not sure where. Winter Park is nice.
Yeah. Well, I would think because you're South Jersey and like Winter Park, I think it would probably be around like 16 hours, maybe even 17. So you could do it. Yeah,
I could probably do it in one sitting. Be sitting there listening to some alt-right podcasts, on the way down. Really make it go fast. Find out what Milo Yiannopoulos is up to.
Oh, he's so great.
He went heterosexual. That's what I heard. I haven't investigated. Yeah.
Good. He decided. For him, I guess. I don't know what you say to that. Like
you say Mazel Tov, I think, because he's Jewish.
Yeah.
You say Mazel Tov. Welcome to pussy. I don't use that word very much, pussy. Except when I'm calling someone a pussy. I don't describe vaginas that way. Normally, I just say vagina because it's an awful word. Sheila Allen is claiming Milo is hers now, so I guess she has her eyes on him. Yeah, if he's heterosexual, he's up for grabs. I'm curious about this. I want to hear a story about this.
A man broke his heart.
Yeah. So Dashhammer is saying Milo was Catholic. I think he was Catholic, but he's actually Jewish descent. So
sure.
Yeah. Okay. Let me look. Oh God. All right. So here's the article in the New York Post. We can talk about this a little bit. I actually do think Milo's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But who knows? Your Milo-age may vary. Milo Yiannopoulos says he's ex-gay and wants to rehabilitate conversion therapy. Ex-gay, right-wing provocateur Milo has come out as ex-gay. Didn't we just do a whole big article about that? All of the new costume designs. Is that ex-gay too?
Yeah, that's ex-gay. Yeah.
Announcing he would like to help rehabilitate what the media calls conversion therapy over the next decade, according to a report. That's Mike Pence. Mike Pence had this whole thing where he wants to shock gay people into heterosexuality.
That shirt, that guy on his jacket on his shoulders that said "Blind for Love." I mean, that's pretty epic. There's a lot to that. Does that mean you just love blind people, or you're ugly and you should only date people who can't see you?
It's always worked for me. Yiannopoulos, who once said that sex between 13-year-olds and older men can be life-affirming, told the outlet that he is now leading a daily consecration online to St. Joseph. That's not exactly what he said. He said him being 13. When I used when I used to kid that I only became gay to torment my mother. I wasn't entirely joking, he said. This has all been a troll.
Epic.
This guy is mad at his mom. That's why he's been gay.
Yeah.
Of course, I was never wholly at home in the gay lifestyle. Who could be? This, you gotta be kidding me. And only leaned heavily into it in public because it drove liberals crazy to see a handsome, charismatic, intelligent gay man riotously celebrating conservative principles. That's why Cecil became popular. Same thing.
He was gay also?
Was?
Is? Right.
I mean, it is it's a tried and true path.
Of being handsome and
Yeah. In my opinion, I think Cecil's handsome. No homo. That's not to say I didn't throw myself enthusiastically into degeneracy of all kinds in my private life. I suppose I felt that's all I deserved, degeneracy. I'd love to say it was all an act and I've been straight this whole time, but even I don't have that kind of commitment to performance art. Talk about method acting. Asked about how he decided to become sodomy free. We all aspire to that, don't we?
I my whole life.
Yeah. 4 years ago.
What do you say to that? What do you say? I'm sodomy free. Like that's like somebody saying, "Oh, I'm going on a diet. I'm gluten free." Like, I mean, what the hell? Who puts that? I'm sodomy free. He actually said that.
That's what he said. He's like, 4 years ago, I gave an interview to America Magazine, which they declined to print. It's taken me a long time to live up to the claims I made in that interview, but I'm finally doing it. Anyone who's read me closely over the past decade must surely have seen this coming. I wasn't shy about dropping hints. In my New York Times bestselling book, Dangerous, I heavily hinted I might be coming out as straight in the future.
Wow, that was a plug. We all need to learn from that right there. He just pointed out his book. He just sold his book in this.
Perfect. Yeah. Now people have to go back. By the way, I did buy that book. I bought Milo Yiannopoulos' Dangerous.
Yeah, I bought it the first time when it was called, well, I mean, excuse my French, it was called Dangerous Faggot, and then it got canceled, and then it took a few months for them to kind of put it back out, and then it just came out as Dangerous.
It wasn't good. I tried to read it. The book was horrible. Like it was, I thought Milo was smart in a way. Good, pretty good with rhetoric. Maybe he'd write a decent book. He didn't write a good book.
Mm-hmm. He's very charismatic and he makes good like PowerPoints. But as far as a book, like you said, it like as a long game, it was hard to read.
It was submoronic, I would say. Like there's moronic and then below moronic is submoronic. And again, I'm saying this as somebody who enjoyed Milo, not in that way. And in my recent stream of consciousness Telegram feed, I've been even more explicit, stomach churningly so. If the comments under my X days without sodomy posts or anything to go by. Wow. Well, I mean, I don't know. What do you think of this?
I don't like. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know to take him serious on anything, right? Because I get what he's saying. He's done a lot just to stay in people's, timeline or talk or stir people up. I mean, he's still kicked off Twitter, right?
I think so. As for his personal life, Yiannopoulos said of his husband, the guy I live with has been demoted to housemate, which hasn't been easy for either of us. It helps that I can still just about afford to keep him in Givenchy and a new Porsche every year. Could be worse for him, I guess. Is a Porsche Porsche?
Porsche. Man, Porsche, but people just Porsche.
I just automatically say Porsche now, and people go, "No, it's Porsche," and I go, "Fuck you," I don't, that's weird. So was he putting us on this entire time?
That's a good question. I mean, he was very good at it. If he was, I mean, I'm curious if he's still going to be like flamboyant, like if he's still just going to be a flamboyant and straight guy, or how his demeanor is going to change.
How would one do that? How would one be flamboyant straight guy? That's like not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, his mannerisms. I mean, everything was very. I mean, I hate saying it like that, but it was very gay. you know, and I'm just curious if he's going to change, you know.
Are you? Yeah, I guess so.
I like him either way. I don't care. I don't care, you know, what he puts in his mouth, as long as his heart is in the right place.
Hmm. I would say that's a last ditch effort to get attention.
You think?
Yeah. Milo's broke. You know, he's in all kinds of financial trouble. And from what I checked in on him like a year ago. I was watching what he was doing. Everything was falling apart. To say, just kidding, I'm not really gay, seems like
yeah. I mean,
look at me.
Like I was saying, he was very good at it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm kind of not really buying it. I kind of think it's a gag.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Sci-Fi says he was never really gay. He was just British. It's hard to tell the difference.
Oh. I mean, there's a lot of tea drinking. I mean, it's a little confusing.
Why do you drink tea? Why do people have to drink tea?
Why not? I don't know. It's Australians do it too. So I
don't get it. Tea isn't that good. I'm going to be honest with you. Tea isn't that good. You know, it's water flavored by leaves. You have to put honey in it to make it taste good. Why are you drinking tea? Why don't you just drink not like fruit juice or something? Why drink tea at that point? Let's see. Mr. Sophocles says, ever heard of Israel Kayes? Little known serial killer. Look it up. Very sick satanic killer that went under the radar. Right up your alley. See what I'm saying? Like people are saying things like that to me. Coffee is better than tea, says almost everybody here. They do agree. All right, so what's going on with Disney? Let's do this story here and see what's up. No, we got to do it. We got to do it. Whistleblower reveals details about Disney's anti-racism training program.
Oh, this one.
Featuring lessons on systemic racism, white privilege, and white fragility. And here is Mickey Mouse. He's saying...
It gets pretty rough when you go down the list because it's not exactly just white privilege. It's like, do you take public transportation? Have you ever been raped? You know, a lot of privileges like that really don't even have to do with the color of your skin. Then they want to section you off into if you're of color and black, then you're the Wakandan group. And this is this seems like it's got to be a class action lawsuit, right? Like, I mean, a lot of people are going to sue the shit out of them, I would think.
I don't know. Look at him. Look at Mickey Mouse here. He's like, oh, take that, bigots. You know, we're in real trouble here if Mickey's turned on us.
Yeah.
I can't help the color of my skin.
Well, what color is Mickey?
I hate it every day. I'm so angry that I wasn't born black. Every day I'm mad about that. There's nothing I can do about it, though. Oh, I hate being white. Ooh. Why wasn't I born Puerto Rican? Like sketch therapy. Oh, I resent it with every fiber of my being white. But there's nothing I can do about it.
No amount of rap music I listen to helps.
Yeah. It isn't fair. That's right. Some people have all the luck. Some people catch all the breaks, you know, and the rest of us we're born white.
Somebody brings up a good point. Mickey's body is black, but his face is white. What's that about?
White face.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Captain Chokeout's here. He says, you know, as serial killers go, Fred and Rose West are a respectable entry from the UK. I'd say their antics would rank high on a serial killer list. I am so not interested in serial killers from England. There's so many like Jack the Ripper's a rare exception because his name is good. He's gotten some good PR, but I will say I see all these like investigating serial killers documentaries on Netflix and stuff, and I get angry when it's like British people because I'm like, your cops don't even have guns. You know what I mean? Like I don't care. Like I'm not going to see you bust in on some sick deranged cannibal and then you've got to open fire on him. What are you going to do? Hit him with your bobby clubs?
Yeah,
your nightclubs? Like I don't believe England's real. It really is just Harry Potter world. And I love the British. But what the hell? I mean, it's like, is it real over there? I mean, they must watch American TV and just go, wow, like what the hell? Like we take things seriously over here. We take serial killing seriously. We take crime seriously. You know, it's like you guys just go you guys take tea breaks in the middle of murder investigations.
I mean, we're all in over here. I mean,
I mean, fuck around.
No.
And why? Why is that? You know, what is that? Like everything is Harry Potter over there. That's quite right. It's just Harry Potter land. All right. So what about Spring Heel Jack? That's Jack the Ripper, isn't it? Spring Heel Jack. England has special units with wands, says Mr. Sophocles. That's what I understand. You know, they have departments that are now named after Harry Potter classes. There's what are some of the Harry Potter groups that you can belong to?
Slytherin?
Yeah. We're the Slytherin branch. We're the Bobbies, and they're called Bobbies. Gosh, they're called Bobbies over there. All right. Purported link of and I'm sorry for taking. I'm a little annoyed. I'm sorry for taking that out on England. I love my English subscribers. A purported leak of internal documents has revealed the deeply ingrained critical social justice and race theory teachings found in Walt Disney's latest employee diversity and inclusion training program. This is such bullshit. Why don't we root this out? Why are we tolerating this? Diversity and inclusion training program. This is a grift. This is what these worthless SJWs do. They need to make jobs for themselves. They've invented this bullshit. According to the documents, which independent journalist Christopher F. Rufo claims to have obtained from a company whistleblower, Disney's new Reimagine Tomorrow program consists of a number of different modules aimed at teaching employees how to both be anti-racist. According to this trove, remember, no more systemic racism, white privilege, white fragility, white saviors they're talking about. Can we name some white saviors? I mean, there's Jesus. He was white. Santa Claus.
The word anti-racist just seems weird for some reason.
Why?
Well, racist would be to hate a group, and this would be anti-hate a group. It's just like like stacking a negative on a negative. It's like you start off with just society, then you're like, oh, then there's racism, and then it's like, no, then there's anti. It just seems convoluted. It's like
anti.
Yeah, it's anti.
Checkpoint says, I'm not sure Jesus was white. I have seen no evidence. Every photograph I've ever seen. I mean, it's pretty clear.
I mean, Black Jesus, maybe. I don't know.
No, he looks like Kenny Loggins. The guy was white. It's pretty clear Jesus was white. One such module, I wouldn't care if he wasn't. I'm not saying that, oh, that's an issue. Like, I like him because, no, if he was whatever he was, I'd be fine with it. But, you know, he looked like Kenny Loggins. One such module titled Allyship for Race Consciousness. This is like Nazi shit.
Yeah, it is. You haven't even gotten to the grouping part. But
yeah, the list is just like insane.
I don't think you understand how bad this gets.
It asks employees to, quote, take ownership of educating yourself about the structural anti-Black racism in the current historical context, while also avoiding having to rely on your Black colleagues to educate you, as the task would be too emotionally taxing.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Wow, this is horrendous. This is fucking horrible. Can you imagine Disney teaching you this? Reprogram. Look at this. This is meant to reprogram you. Mm-hmm. Most of us are wondering how we can step up to support Black colleagues and promote racial justice. Think of this guide as one of many starting points to becoming an ally. Throughout the guide, we have been intentional about addressing both white and non-Black people of color allies because each group can extend different and distinctive types of allyship. Well, this is not an exhaustive list. There are 3 critical components to becoming an ally: learning, reflecting, and engaging. Here's some thought starters for you allies. Number 1, the struggle is real. I've always said that. I said that in a sketchbook, and they didn't like that.
Yeah.
Why is it that when I talk about my struggle, I get canceled, and these people are allowed to talk about how their struggles are real? You know?
Yeah, I always thought that was weird. How that sketchbook was an issue years after you did it. It wasn't even like when you did it. It was like people took issue years after when it was convenient when you were like again wearing your Trump hat.
Yeah. Oh, now it's all right. Fine. The struggle is real. Solidarity, and mutuality are our common goals. This hard work is not a moment in time. It is an ongoing learning journey. The work requires more than attending a parade or a rally. We attended some rallies to demonstrate support. Don't take the responsibility of being an ally lightly. This is about building self-awareness through education and advocating for institutional change. I want to build some self-awareness in me. I don't want to take myself lightly anymore.
I mean, it is only Disney. It is only Disney where people are supposed to have fun. They sell escapism, right? They bought all this intellectual property, Star Wars. They had the Mickey Mouse stuff. You go to Disneyland, you want to be in another world. Like you're not wanting to be grounded in racism. I don't even.
Well, it all started with the Fast Pass lane. Remember the Fast Pass lane at Disney World? Now they're gonna have the POC lane.
Oh,
It's like they're gonna start segregating the lines just to get into Space Mountain.
I like that idea.
Well, I mean, not if you're at the end of the line of the long line. It's like we're gonna be at the. I mean, we're gonna be at the end of the line.
What did they call that? Retributions?
What if they separated the water fountains?
Made different doors again. Yeah.
What if they did that? Oh, but the black water fountain is better though, and this door is quicker for black people.
Yeah, there's going to be a white water fountain.
Yeah,
and we're going to be forced to use that.
Yeah, I mean, this is all very familiar. This has happened. These people think they're coming up with revolutionary ideas, and they're really not. This had already happened. There are a lot of people who have bought these thoughts.
Well, it's interesting. A couple months ago when they were trying to get rid of all those statues around the United States about fighting the Civil War and stuff like that, and how they try to kind of erase the history. And then here is like something else that it's like, don't they realize that this has already happened before?
Yeah, we had to fight real hard through the power of President Ronald Reagan to defeat, most of the civil rights movement, that struggle. I want to thank Reagan for helping us with, and Nixon, President Nixon made a lot of great strides in civil rights victories. It's a shame that we have to fight those fights again. But look, Nixon's gone, Reagan's gone. George W. Bush is gone. Sad that we lost him. And therefore, we have to fight these same toxic ideas all over again by ourselves. We have to come back and say, oh, no, we don't want to have segregated water fountains. Do we even still have water fountains?
Yeah, I mean, they're usually at gyms mostly. I think schools still have them.
Gyms and schools.
No, The other day I was trying to find a water fountain at the mall because Ava wanted a drink of water and had a water bottle. So I was going to refill the water bottle and give it to her. And I couldn't find a water fountain, at least not one for white people. So anyway, the reason why is because now there's this big water conspiracy.
I usually just drink out of the fountain with the quarters in it, but I mean, you can do what you want.
Oh yeah. People just fling pennies in there and quarters, make wishes.
Yeah.
Anyway, Allyship is not self-defined. It is defined by the individual or group to whom you are an ally, so they get to tell you what to do. You are an ally when the individual or group say so and recognize you as one. Being an ally is not about recognition, promotion, or reward. Allies are not saviors. Rather, allyship is all about common good and changing the world. Allyship 101. Allyship is the relationship with an underrepresented... Oh, this is Mickey's voice. I'm sorry. Allyship 101. Allyship is a relationship with an underrepresented individual or group outside of your own identity. Examples: disability, racial, ethnic identity, gender identity, religion, veteran status, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status. That is grounded in accountability, action, and respect.
It's frightening how good you are at that.
Yeah.
This is horrendous. This is
it's
bad.
absolutely it's fucking horrible, actually. Because like what's happening is they want you not to just have a conversation with somebody or do whatever you gotta do with them. You first have to evaluate everything about them, and even if they happen to be multiracial or another race, then you have to start digging through their financial background, what their parents, if their parents were divorced or not, and then start to pick away at that. And
you haven't got to that part yet.
No, you haven't.
One of the things on the list is, Ethan, are your parents still together? You know, that puts you in a point of privilege. The list, I mean, this gets much worse.
Yeah, I wish it would be a lot simpler if it was. Actually, I kind of wonder if, because they then started branching out into your financial background, your family background, if that's to keep them from getting sued. Like if it's like you can discriminate anybody or anybody can be privileged because of anything, not just the color of their skin. And you need, it's so weird, this whole thing. And this is coming from a corporation. I mean, one of the big, they own most of everything. I mean, especially entertainment wise. And we're going to like have them wag a finger at us and tell us what to do. Why? Because you want us in this line and that line, paying through the nose to go on a roller coaster or to watch a Marvel movie or to buy a shampoo bottle with Captain America on it. It's like, F you. And half of this shit is just trying to branch out to different demographics they think they can sell the same merch to. I mean, you have to understand, there's licensees, when they buy, they're like, we want to do Disney princesses. They're like, well, you might as well do a shampoo bottle for Darth Vader and Captain America at the same time, because it's all the same company. Pay one license fee. I mean, you look at the products in the store, and every time you see Star Wars, you see Disney stuff, you see Marvel stuff, all of it. Predator and Aliens. These people own Predator and Aliens now. They own like almost everything.
They own all the Predators and Aliens, as far as I can say.
Predators.
All right, let me read some super chats. People are complaining at me about this, and then we'll get right back to the horrible bigotry and racism of
that next line
SJWs.
you were coming on was brutal.
Oh my God, dude! I was reading ahead and I was disgusted by it.
Yeah.
I really despise these people.
Task force.
Gross.
What
Charlie's
task
London
force?
says, "Mr. Van Skyver, tear down that mouse." Thank you, Charlie's London. Great to see you. Christopher Gorey says, "Good sir, I mean this most kindly. But you could not, quote, take yourself lightly with the aid of 3 tow trucks. Oh, how dare you?" Phil Moore says, "What if the Nazis that came over from Project Paperclip are really the ones in power and are pulling the strings of these gullible SJWs? Oh man,
Don't get me started.
yeah, for real. Like, what if this is? I mean, because this is clearly like totally weird, like racism. It's like,
It's like eugenics.
It is. So maybe that Scott Sand says Jesus never said anything about asking for a point of privilege and stating his or her pronouns. Did he? I mean, is anybody with any knowledge of the Bible? You want to double check that and see if Jesus ever? Let's see. Captain Chogout says, "Oh, I read that one." EVS, what do you think of Jupiter's Circle comics? Says Fo Chung Esquire. What's Jupiter's Circle? I don't know. Do they mean the Frank Whiteley and Mark Millard Jupiter's? What's that one?
That's Jupiter Legacy.
Legacy.
That's something different.
Mr. Sophocles says, oh, I read that one. Mr. Sophocles says, could you please explain to me why Shane always dresses like a Russian mobster in a GTA game? It bothers me. Thank you in advance. I think that's just Shane's wardrobe. I don't think he's Shane and a Russian mobster both have the same taste in terms of sartorial issues, but I don't think either of them. I don't think Shane has much in common with a Russian mobster beyond that. So, Shane, do you have anything to add to that? I mean,
No, I mean,
In Russia, they're called gopniks.
yeah.
Gopnik. Okay. Vince Garrett says that cat was pregnant, so she was man-hating you. Trencher 1375 says the cats smile by narrowing their eyes. It liked you. No, it didn't. I'm definitely sure that it didn't. Kong 404040 says, got my trading cards in the mail today, Uncle E. I also put the human sunbeam sticker on the back of my phone case. Oh, beautiful. Gek 812 says, my neighbor's teenage grandson cannot hear, speak, or write, but can operate a computer. Other night mentioned Kyle's book. Family is excited about seeing book. Got 2 Starblades copies to give one away. Oh, good. OCC says, fly Kyle up and have him draw art for The Office. I love that idea. Old Dirty Fatty says, you were streaming at the same time you were premiering on Can't Get It Right. My little mind is going to explode. What? I'm always streaming against something else. Oh, Can't Get It Right. Can't Get Right. Kurt Metzger. Oh, Kurt Metzger is premiering my episode. Whoops. Or he was. That's good. Well, that's still going to be available. Please do watch that. Can't Get Right, Kurt Metzger. My second interview over there. Lefty But Not Looney says, new to the channel. I've heard you say you've been canceled. Oh, I read that one. Frog coin is the new Doge coin. Says Snowball. Josiah Haynes says, glad to see you're feeling better. Shared your butter song, says Cranberry Langers. Forrest Ghost Fabio says, you think God bless you for helping produce Starblades? He has. God has blessed me. So am I getting God's pronouns right? To be honest with you, God does make an issue of his pronouns in the Bible. He does. It is him. These people who say God is a woman, misgendering God. I don't think he gets worse than that. Let's see. When is Dan Shaheen? Says Manticore. People do want me on that show. Shane, why don't you go on Dan Shaheen with me? Dan Shaheen versus Shaheen Davis.
I guess. I mean, sure. I don't know. Well, I mean, I have an issue with him because he was basically out of the comic industry since 2010, he says. And then he comes back in and then he knows who's who and what's what. And I don't know. I mean, I could go on, but like I just smell bullshit on that guy.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he I don't know.
I mean, it would be good YouTube. I mean, but it's like, why is it? I mean, okay, here's my thoughts on it. You and Dan Shaheen, right? Let's just talk about you and him. Why don't, if you're going to go back and forth on his channel, I mean, bring him into home field, put him on your channel sometimes and trade off. Like, like,
why would I give him my audience?
Because like
this is a gift. Like you being on this show is a gift. People are going to watch this. This show will get 20,000 views eventually. And if I say, hey, back Patrick Thomas's Ultra Star, 20,000 people are going to eventually hear that message. So if I have him on my show, then I'm helping him. If I'm on his show, I'm just making fun of him.
Yeah, but it's the way he handles the chat. Like he won't read super chats or read distant. Yeah, just the way he handles the chat, I don't like it. I mean, to get super chats like that with real questions or real comments, he doesn't want to read it, and then you have to make him read it. And I mean, I guess it's like if it was on your channel, like you would just be reading the questions to him. He couldn't get away from it, but he'd probably leave. I see what you're saying. Don't give him your audience. I see what you're saying. But
see, the thing about it is, Shane, is that I don't have questions for him. He has questions for me. I understand him entirely. I see him as a specimen. I've scientifically evaluated his species. of SJW for most of my time on YouTube. I understand him. I get him. He's got questions for me. And those are the questions that I must answer, I guess. Fo Chung Esquire says, what's your take on J. Scott Campbell?
It's a loaded question.
What is my take on that? Shane, what's your take on J. Scott Campbell?
So I was looking around and I came across a Bleeding Cool article, and it looked like he had been on the Quesada Dave Johnson drink and draw streams a couple of times. That kind of answered right away to me, like where he got the choice words for CG. Yeah. So I and especially since he had, you know, because he had even shouted out my channel because I'd done a video on it. And the fact then he then issued that first statement that kind of threw everybody up under the bus, and then walked it back. I felt like that first statement where, you know, anti-bigotry, all this whole CG, I'm not comic CG, like that just sounded like it was put in his ear by whoever. I mean, that's, and when I say whoever, probably Joe Quesada, Dan Panoja, whatever his name is, and Dave Johnson for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you think, Patrick Thomas?
I've calmed down since the last time that I talked about it, and I feel the same way that Shane says. I feel like he's kind of just a guy stuck in the middle, and I think he had some people just kind of talking in his ear and just being like, "Oh, well, you know, don't talk to that group because that group is, you know, Gamergate, or they're just like a Gamergate," and you know, and. When he was talking about Gamergate, it was clear that he didn't even know what Gamergate was, you know, so he doesn't know what Comicsgate is. So I mean, I appreciated him walking back a little bit. So
I think he'd do well not to talk about things he doesn't know anything about.
I do it every day.
Yeah, but you have personality. You have personality. You know,
most of the show was me talking about shit that I don't even know what I'm talking about. Most of it. Some of it I do know. When I talk about action figures and cutting their heads off, I understand that 100%. But everything else I'm like kind of like aloof to. My take on J. Scott Campbell is like I just don't care. Like you know, I've never been a fan. Okay, it's just his artwork isn't for me. I think it's good. It's just I've never really been a fan, and you know, redrawing your. I find that annoying. I find people redrawing his artwork is arrogant and presumptuous, and it's part of the culture that we find ourselves in now. Like what's going on right now, where these nitwits just have absolutely no respect for comics. You know, we had respect for comics and the people who came before us bred into us. Like, can you imagine criticizing anyone like from the generation prior to you, like seriously going, you know what, let me redraw this Frank Miller drawing and show him where he went wrong.
Let me redraw this Jack Kirby drawing. And even if we did, we would say after at the bottom, like this is after an homage cover or something.
No, but it like homages are one thing. That's a tribute. But to be like, you know what, Walt Simonson got this shit wrong. Like, let me show you. You know, let me fix style. Let me take style and fix it to bring it into reality. Somebody did a really funny drawing of the Max, like Sam Keith's redrawing of the Max.
Oh yeah,
I saw that.
And that was so dead on. That satire was so dead on, where it was just like a guy kind of in a baggy suit just crouched down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the things about comic books is we try to draw things and make them look as interesting and as exciting as possible. Superhero comic books, you know, fantasy comic books. And, you know, when that person drew on top of J. Scott Campbell, they just shat on the excitement of the figure drawing, you know, and it just
worse when it was finished. I mean,
you
know.
like, you missed the whole point of what he was doing. You know, non-binary Finn, you know?
And, right. I thought that was hilarious. The whole thing was almost worth listening to him have to backpedal and apologize to non-binary Finn for calling them by their screen name. Like, that was hilarious. I honestly think the whole thing was worth that.
Well, yeah, it was funny because he had to like say that he was, that he wasn't against the LGBTQ whatever community, and it's like, was there anything about that in his tutorial on this other guy's drawing of his drawing? He didn't even mention anything about that. Why was that one of the first things he had to say? And it was because that person chose to call themselves non-binary.
You're repeating it, so you must be making fun of them. I guess.
It was a sham. I mean, and the only reason why I was upset that day was just because he spent that time to kind of like put that person in their place for no reason, because he just bent the knee anyway, and then he apologized to us, and now it's just like I'm with you. I'm just like it's like whatever. Let's just move on to the next thing that happens next week. Yeah,
maybe something more interesting will happen next time. Let me see. Scott Sands says you're right. Her or she is never capitalized in the Bible. Does that mean God is sexist? Yes, of course. He is the patriarchy. Taco Jones says, why don't you find neutral ground? Go on 10 Apple's channel for a debate.
It also isn't man made in his image. Isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah, beard
image. Yeah. Woman, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dishwash her.
I can't wait till they do Woe X. I know what's happening. Woe X, like Latin X. Like let's just do Wom X. We should get there before they do.
Sandwich. Like some of these languages, some of these words are actually gendered, properly gendered, and there's nothing wrong with gendered language. Sandwich.
Remember Manwich? It was like sloppy Joe, like a can of sloppy Joe Manwich.
Yeah, that was weird. Didn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's when all this started. Trying to confuse us.
Like that's when gendered language began.
Yeah,
that's where it started. Was the sloppy Joe? Is that what you're?
Yeah, I'm confused about enough things. I don't need to be confused about everything all the time. I like. It should be very simple. Make it clear. And I like that. That's why I don't like pronouns, because I don't want to have to second guess everything. It's pretty easy. I mean, just reach your hand on the front of your pants, and that'll answer the question for you.
Unless you're Cecil.
So we should do that, because now we're not supposed to shake hands. Should we just grab crotches?
No, wait, I take that back. I don't mean that at all.
That's how Crocodile Dundee does it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess pronouns are important then, because I'm not allowed. Like, we don't want people reaching their hand down the front of your pants. We don't want that. Do we? Or do we?
Just real quick, I want to say I have an hour left on the first 30 days of Ultra Star, and I'm trying to get to a certain point. So if anyone hasn't backed it yet, run it over there, and if anyone wants to throw it in the chat, that'd be great.
Patrick Thomas is saying back Ultra Star today. Back it today.
Yeah.
Back it now.
Not tomorrow.
Yeah, today. Yeah. Get it out of the way.
I put it off to tomorrow, and now I'm not getting Starblades.
You're not getting Starblades, are you? Let me take a look.
No, I backed it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I messaged Janzi, and she messaged me back. She said, "Yeah, you got it." Okay.
Oh, that's good. All right, yeah, Starblades is on its way. Rainbow the Brute, of course. Rainbow the Brute has been doing good ever since I started showing severed unicorn heads and stuff. It's getting a lot of backers. People are excited about Rainbow the Brute, and they should be. Rock and Roll Ninja by your boy Zach. Is there a video here? There's no video. Rock and Roll Ninja is a 100-page graphic novel about 4 Vietnam veterans who escaped from a ninja clan to pursue their. What, they escaped from a ninja clan? Like they were captured by a ninja clan, or they are a ninja clan?
No, I think they're inspired by their captors. I think they were captured, and they escaped, and they decided we can do ninja better than them. So,
to pursue their dream of being in a rock band. So here they are in a rock band. Here, it's good art. It reminds me of Mad Magazine or Cracked Magazine.
I liked Cracked.
Yeah.
Alfred E. Newman always just creeped me out. I don't know. It wasn't for me.
Yeah, why was that funny? Alfred E. Newman.
Was that the idea at the time? Like redheads with a gap between their teeth are just funny. I mean, what's the origins behind that?
I don't really know. I would like to find out, I guess, just to have that bit of information now that you mention it. But this is Matt Baer and Chuck Dixon, and created by Richard C. Meyer. Your boy Zach is coming up with a lot of story ideas lately.
Matt Baer. Who is that? Do you guys know him?
He's in the chat. His name is Matt Six Bear. I don't know, man. He's an artist, and he's in the community. He's around. I see him a lot.
I went to his. Well, actually, I taught a dude by that name, so I was wondering if it's the same guy.
Oh, really? You taught a guy named Matt Bear? It's spelled the same way?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. Maybe it is him. All right. 4 Vietnam veterans in 1973. 4 young, what is this? Marine ACV SOG. Massive SOGs. Soldiers finish up their tour of duty in Vietnam and fly back to the USA to start their dream of becoming rock musicians. He finished up here by sticking a knife through the back of this Vietnamese gentleman's head, like through his neck and out his mouth.
I think that's to stop him from screaming.
Would that stop you? I guess it would stop you from screaming. Yeah, this guy's getting, they're doing a good job here. These guys know what they're doing. Ninja, in 1975, after having all their equipment and vans stolen after a concert, they accept an offer from a colonel they knew in Vietnam for a 6-week security consultant gig in Japan. What could go wrong? Nothing. Look how good this is, man. This is good art. Why isn't Matt Baer more of a superstar?
I don't know.
Who do I blame for that? Who's responsible for making artists in Comicsgate into superstars?
Well, you first have to be a rising star. And then when you're a rising star, then you become a superstar. And then eventually you're like a supernova. And then
I feel like this is John Malin's job. Like John Malin's job. And where is John Malin tonight? John Malin's job is to find talent and then expose them to a wider audience, and then turn them into stars. This guy's really good. Matt Baer's good. It's clear. The boys trained some very serious Japanese men in the elite tactics and advanced weaponry they used as massive SOG soldiers. As they finish, did anybody tell me what that stands for? As they finishing the consulting gig, they find out they won't be going home ever. The people who they had been training are ninja. So here they are, the rock and roll ninjas, and they're also Vietnam veterans. And some really, really good artwork. In 1981, this is the whole story here. After years of service to the Ninja Clan, the boys finally escape and head back to New York City. They reform the band, but they must turn down all record deals and promotion since they have to lie low so that the Ninja Clan cannot track them down and kill them, or even worse, force them back into the nightmarish life they'd already escaped from. Is this the story of Zach's life?
could be.
People say that Zach needs to live stream more, but look, he is lying low so that the Ninja Clan, okay, you could read SJW into that, cannot track him down and kill him, or even worse, force him back into the nightmarish life that Zach escaped from. We don't know what that means. We can only use our imagination. Something not good. This Zach might be sending us coded messages here.
I'm actually down for that. This is a pretty good book. I'm thinking about it. That what now this pitch, I see where you're going with this.
Now you understand why this is good and why you need to back this now. Barb Rogers says Zach is Elon Musk level autistic, she says. Perhaps. 1983, realizing that their big shot is passing them by, the boys created an elaborate plan to lure their Ninja Clan to New York City and pick them off one by one. They do this by splicing footage of them in ninja garb, using secret techniques from their Ninja Clan This is the whole story, Zach. Zach, if you're watching right now, you're telling people the story that you're asking them to pay for. You don't have to do that. This is the entire story. Here they are rocking out. Again, terrific art from Matt Six Bear. Team Richard Meyer, Chuck Dixon, and Matt Bear have banded together to tell this epic story of loyalty, ninja, and rock and roll. Look, they even have this. This could be a t-shirt if you wanted. Meyer, Dixon, Bear.
It's really cool. It's kind of like a tour shirt type thing or whatever.
If you read this fast, it sounds like they're saying Zach is fucking an actual grizzly. Myers, Dixon, Bear. If you read it fast. Don't read it fast. These are the things that inspired Zach. He loves those G.I. Joe comics. And the Ramones. Do you remember the Ramones?
Yeah, of course. CBGBs.
Beat on the brat. Beat on the brat. Beat on the brat with a baseball bat. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so weird how small CBGB's was, though. Like, I mean, every photo, it looks 10 times bigger. Like, I've been in there, and
I love CBGBs. I saw many shows there. I mean, so many great bands have played there, like Social Distortion, The Misfits, The Ramones, Talking Heads.
Blondie, yeah.
Beat on the brat with the baseball bat. Oh, yeah.
I totally get what he's doing here. Like the 1983 in New York City, the punk scene was like going off, and that's when the hardcore scene was starting as well. Gorilla Biscuits, Sick of It All, and I can kind of see that in the art style. It's a different Matt Bear. I looked it up. It's a different Matt Bear that I had a student, but yeah, this guy is really good. He's really capturing like the feel of the like the crustiness of the punk. I love it.
Yeah. Look at these dirty hippies. They're not hippies, they're punks. Whatever. They're undesirable. You know, they're not me. They're not a yuppie like me. You know, I would be a disgusting yuppie in the 1980s, I think. My you know, while this was going on, while people were shoving paper clips through their noses, you know, safety pins in every orifice. I was James Spader in Pretty in Pink. Like, that was who I thought I was meant to be in the 1980s. You're a bitch. James Spader in Pretty in Pink. What a great guy he was. Still, I mean, you know, that's who you need to be. Yeah, preppy, yuppie, you know, rich, trying to fuck Molly Ringwald for some reason.
You never thought she was attractive?
I mean, you know, to be honest with you, you know, any port in a storm, but I don't think that she was, no, I don't think she was that great. You can't really make movies where, you know, she is the most beautiful girl in the world. Like, she's not a stunner.
Yeah.
She's the girl next door who, I guess so, if I was drunk. You know what I mean?
I guess so, if I was drunk.
Yeah,
well,
like you.
I think that was the appeal of her in the 80s, is that she was so average. A lot of people could relate to her. You know, I know that girl. You know, I am that girl.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
I remember having a big crush on her, but there are also like I didn't have many redheads in my school or anything. So like, to me, she just kind of stood out in the movies and stuff.
Yeah, there were no, but I mean, to be fair, like, there weren't a lot of beautiful women in the 70s and 80s.
Elizabeth Shue was good.
Yeah, she was good. She was a cutie. I liked her in those. I liked her in her khaki pants and Karate Kid, whatever those were.
Oh yeah, the khaki pants when she was doing the cheerleading scene.
I love that.
I also liked her in. She was pretty in Adventures in Babysitting.
The girl from Weird Science, the movie, that chick.
Yeah. Who's that?
I don't know.
She was British, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget her name too. I'm sure the chat will say it here in a second. That was a great movie.
Tawny Katane died, by the way.
When?
Like 2 days ago. You didn't hear this?
No.
Tawny Katane passed on. Of course, you know, it's sad because, you know, in the 1980s, in my Headbanger days, in my Megadeth days, you know, when I was 12, 13, My my heterosexuality evolved first around Linda Carter, but eventually puberty hit, and it was Samantha Fox and Tawny Katane. And then Samantha Fox is a lesbian, which still blows my mind. But Tawny Katane, I mean, that was like, whoa, women are great. Like, women are. And she died. You know, she died.
What
She's
did
gone.
she die of?
I don't know. I presume drugs, probably drugs, but
at
what
her
do I know?
age?
She was in a movie called Witchboard 2, which we rented because there was nudity in it. This was just last week. And there was full Tawny Katane full frontal. You know.
When was the movie filmed?
Yeah, what I'm saying is this is before grooming. It's such a disappointment. You know what I mean? It's like full frontal, and it's like, oh my god, you look like you have Yoko Ono in a headlock, in a leg lock. I mean, absolutely terrible down there. Like, trim up. Women needed to trim up in the 80s, but nobody was there to tell them. So
actually, that's a weird thing. I don't know what they call it, but it's like a wig, a pubic wig that they would do just to get around that.
It's called a merkin. Yeah,
merkin,
I would hate to think that they'd use a merkin in a movie like Witchboard 2. You know, like the budget. Like, I mean, the budget was so small. Like, you know, would they have a merkin budget? I would say no. I would say they wouldn't. Good bet that it's real. But then again, somebody blew my mind about, I think it was Cecil, ruined Return of the Living Dead for me. And the amazing full frontal nudity. It isn't even real in that movie. She's wearing some kind of something or other. That destroys me.
It gets worse than that. Like, I guess, like, you know how like there's certain nipple through the shirt shots in movies. It's all fake. It's like a rubber paste on.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's like they put on like a fake nipple that shows through the shirt. Like,
hey,
what at that point?
Of,
what's the point? All right, here we go.
Speaking of merkins,
growing up can be rough. It isn't always easy to make friends. Sometimes I feel alone. But then I met Barnaby and learned the truth about all cats on Earth. That they need my help. But the bullies are trying to stop our fun. Together with the Starlight Cats, I can collect all the jewels, so the Great Merlion will rise again.
Evil alien rats called the Verkin lived.
The Verkin?
The Merkin? Well, yeah, some similarities.
Okay.
A little.
Devour all life forms. In this action-adventure 48-page graphic novel, Rebecca is swept up with the Starlight Cats into an intergalactic conflict. Together, they have to find the power to stop the Verkins, who are determined to conquer Earth. Only Rebecca and this elite team of cosmic-powered felines can summon the magic needed to end this universal infestation. This is Starlight Cats Book 1, Merlion Rising. Back this project today, only on Indiegogo.
People have been backing it.
Yes, they have. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I always check on these campaigns, you know, after I do a live stream. I'll wake up in the morning and refresh each campaign and notice that, yeah, like people are backing these campaigns. And it's very exciting. I'm happy to see Starlight Cats, Merlion Rising picking up a little bit more steam. 110,000. You've now beaten Graveyard Shift Volume 1.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. It's kind of weird.
There's nothing to say because John Malin isn't in here to say anything to him. You'd want to say it to him personally.
Well, I don't want to make it weird.
I do. I want to make it weird.
Talking about the Merkin though, like if a wig is made from somebody else's hair, is a Merkin made from somebody else's pubes?
I would like to hope not. But what do I know? I'm not an expert. What I am an expert on is great looking superhero cat comics. Now, a few people are saying this is like Green Lantern, but it's with cats. What would you say to that? Would you say that's close?
It's pretty close, actually. So the how do we talk about this book after what we were talking about? All right, let me think.
Easily. Switch
Easily.
gears.
Okay, so the
Switch
Malayan
gears.
crash lands and dies. He cast out 5 jewels. Now, one of these jewels have not been found, and it's supposed to go to a chosen cat warrior, but ends up on a little girl named Rebecca. She has now the power of a star on their chest. They shoot giant beams. These cat warriors have actually been keeping the American ships at bay. They're kind of like Green Lanterns in a way. They're flying around. There's these rat invasions happening, and they're constantly shooting down the fleets and keeping them from invading the cat's planet. But they're waiting to find that 5th jewel so they can resurrect their Malayan. But now it's glued to this little girl, and that's a big issue. So now the prophecy can't happen, so to speak. So that is how it is a little bit like Green Lanterns in that sense, that they're kind of like these, not space cops, they're kind of like a space army in a way, but there's very few of them.
Yeah. It's just right. They have different colors and they fly and they have glowy powers.
Yeah.
That's all. That's where the similarity ends, I guess.
Well, if you look at the jewel on the Merlion's head there, you'll notice it right there. It's got all the colors kind of mixed in, so that's why there's multiple colors of the jewels. Now, when they all come together, eventually it'll kind of balance out to a new color, but you'll find out in the book. Just buy yourself a book.
Yeah, buy a copy of Starlight Cats, and let's get this.
Let's not play that again. I saw where you didn't. No,
I won't play it again. But buy a copy of this book, and Shane, how's it going? What do you have? Like another 16 pages to go or something?
Something like that. We're having a vacation coming up next week, so I'm just plugging away at pages. Yanti's like, hey, wouldn't it be nice if you only had 10 pages left to go? So it's something like 14, 15 pages left to go. So I have the whole book laid out. I don't draw a book in order. I don't know if you do, Ethan or Pat.
No, I draw scenes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So right now I've been working through all the action in the book, which is interesting. I'm flipping through it now. This is the book, so it's that much of it's done. So it's I keep a little dummy book that I look back through as I draw a book, so to make sure I know the pages I'm laying out and stuff. But I kind of went in and did all of the action stuff in the book, which is a lot more than I thought, because there's a giant space invasion. She doesn't know how to use her powers, and they're literally like tons of American ships invading the solar system of the cat's planet. So all the heavy stuff is kind of done now. Now I'm just kind of, thank God, now I'm kind of running back and doing basically the ending on Earth and the beginning on Earth and some in-betweens. But it's I did the hard stuff first. That's something I picked up working in comics. Had somebody telling me, like, why don't I talk about the books I've done for Marvel and DC, that they came over from Fandom Menace and they didn't realize I did all these books. And I'm like, I don't want to advertise my past work. Do you do that?
No, I never talk about Marvel and DC. I don't talk about, like, not unless I really have to.
Yeah, this was coming up a lot today in comments and super chats. And it's like, so anyways, working at Marvel and DC, I learned really quick to try to do the hard stuff first in case I have to speed up through some pages, that I'm not left doing it on a crazy splash page or something. I don't know if you do the same thing, but I try to get the heavy stuff done first if I can. It's nice to have a full script. I don't know if you remember working off of piecemeal scripts even.
I really don't like that. I don't believe in having a script at all when I'm writing my own stuff. I just don't.
Yeah.
I have a plot. Things get added to it and things get moved around and stuff. It's just better. And at the end of the day, you're able to just kind of go, okay, I've got the complete finished story. Here it is. It's like building a movie,
Yeah.
And that's how Wreck Planet is. But I actually did tell someone. I sat down and I told someone the Wreck Planet story all the way through, and they were stunned by it. They
You
were
thought
very upset.
that far out, like
No. I didn't tell them the entire just the issue, Wreck Planet, like what happens in
okay.
Wreck Planet, just so that they would know. And they, they were like, "Yeah, cool, man, good for you, little boy." I was like, "Thanks." Dan Fraga's Black Flag Pineapple Perception. Are we there yet? Oh, we're almost there. We're looking for 205,000. I got Dan on here the other day. Whenever Dan shows up for a live stream, people buy his comic. He's just a hell of a guy. Here's his video.
I created Black Flag back in 1994. It was pure escapism. I want to draw guys with big guns. I want to draw anime babes, wizards, aliens. Cool, put them all in one book. Black Flag is literally wish fulfillment. High energy, high octane, 90s style action, relentless, doesn't ask for forgiveness, high bullet count. There hasn't been that in comics in the same way that I'm going to provide it. Sniper decided that he was going to go back into doing what he does best. He went and he took all of his gear, which had this shield on it with his flag, and he blacked out all the flags. He has no allegiance to anybody but himself. They're never sitting around talking in Black Flag issue 1. Ragtag, they're it. Here to save our world, all of them, mythical, magical. And we are going to see so many bullets, so much action. This thing is certain to blow people's minds. That's basically what Black Flag is all about. Let's go.
Another really great trailer. Everybody has good trailers, except for me. I make my own. Well, the Wreck Planet trailer was good.
I like the trailer a lot. Actually, I get a little tear-eyed. Are you talking about the one with Heather Swain, or are you talking about
that's
the
a
one
good
you
trailer. Yeah, the other the trailers that I make that are 15 seconds long are not that good. Fragaboom, back Black Flag Pineapple Perception. Let's talk about Cecil's cash grab for once. Do I want to talk about Cecil's Cash Grab, the graphic novel? Looking forward to this actually coming out. I think it actually will come out. I think Cecil's going to disappoint a lot of people. This will end up seeing print. Very much looking forward to it. I must have backed this like 5 times. I feel like I backed it a bunch of times because I support Cecil.
He should donate some of the damaged copies to like orphanages or inner city youth or something.
Yeah, look at their lot.
You should give back.
I think Human Cecilpede, this cover here, and Dirtworm Doug should be in libraries. I don't see why this wouldn't be in a public school library. So Cecil, maybe something for you to consider. This book is so richly illustrated.
That would the humans, the Dirtworm Doug. Wouldn't it be hilarious if people just went and bought extra copies and you just go into the library and just sit it on the shelf, just put it in there. And just...
That's where it belongs.
Like since I got Brutus the Badass, I'm very excited to see Don's work in this. And like Brutus the Badass was such killer artwork. I want to see how he handles Cash Grab and Cecil's story.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I just that frog looks familiar. I can't put my finger on it. Trent Kanuga's Creed Reimaginary 1 and 2. I talked to Trent the other day. We got another backer. Trent is ready to go with 3 and 4. Like he just wants to keep going, which is great. He's like, hey, what do you think about me doing an art book and all? Yeah, do all that stuff, dude. Do all of it. I will publish it. We'll promote it. $107,000 right out of the gate. Not bad. Not bad. Trent, of course, does have a lot of experience. He's been around comics. He's worked for Marvel. He worked on Ghost Rider. I think he did an issue of Thor. He's been around for a long time. It's great to have him back in comics and doing what he's best known for, Creed. Creed Reimaginary.
I keep forgetting about that Ghost Rider run of his.
Devin Grayson. wrote it.
what happened to her? Like, what happened?
I don't. She was Mark Wade's girlfriend.
Yeah,
From what I remember, I think
yeah.
I heard that she just they broke up, but like I think she's gay now.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
after dating Mark Wade, of
Well,
course.
yeah. She I don't know where she is. I think she's still writing something or other, but I'm not sure what.
I worked with her on a couple issues, Nightwing, and I don't know. I haven't. Maybe I still have her email, but I kind of wonder about that because I think she was doing like trying to do some TV stuff and prose pitches and stuff. I think she got out of comics.
Good. I mean, her whole thing was I should be writing Nightwing because my name is Devin K. Grayson.
Right.
DK Grayson, Dick Grayson, Nightwing. But the thing about it is, that's not even a real name. So, no. And why didn't you just call yourself Dick Grayson then? You know what I mean? Like, just call yourself Dick Grayson. My name's Dick Grayson. I should be writing Nightwing. This is how women think. It's like, oh, my hair is the same as Riri Williams. Therefore, I should be writing Riri Williams. I look like her. I should get to write the character. Oh, my name is Dick Grayson. I should get to write Dick Grayson's Nightwing for DC Comics on a professional level. Why are women like that? That makes sense to a female brain. To a male brain, we hear that and we go, what the fuck? Shut the fuck up. No. But women go, nah, it just makes sense. And I don't understand. I really don't. I like girls. I like women. I don't understand why that's something they would ever say aloud.
I like women in certain situations.
No, I like them all the time. But why would you say that? Why would you say I should be? I'm campaigning to write this comic book because look, I look like her. And by the way, and it's like, hey, we need. This is something that I thought about today because I'm stupid. I was like, wait a second. Like, I got to put, this thought did occur to me. I'm like, I got to make sure that there are a lot of people of color who survived the Vespis invasion.
No.
Because New Jersey is, it is, it has a large black population. So we want to make sure that they're, we represent that, we show that because it just makes sense. But then here's what I thought. This is the double booby trap. I thought I'm not allowed to write them though, or draw them because I'm white. So I'm only allowed, according to SJWs, I'm only allowed to write and draw white characters because, otherwise, people are only allowed to draw what they know or what represents them.
So that logic doesn't make sense. So if you're working on Superman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden your supporting cast, or you have Lois Lane, you have Jimmy Olsen, whoever, right? Like, I don't know, pretend there's a black person in the Daily Planet. Like, so what are you supposed to do? Then hire somebody on to draw or write Lois Lane? Like,
yeah, I think so. That's the strange trap that they're building. It's kind of like, of course, none of this was real or genuine. I was just thinking, isn't that interesting? That is how it works. It's like, first of all, complain that the books are not diverse enough, but
make them diverse and then
make them diverse and then go.
The people that represent them can work on them. Yeah,
isn't that interesting? Just very strange.
I remember like 11 years ago, or even maybe like 15 years ago, hearing about Joe Quesada trying to talk Damian Scott into drawing Black Panther, and Joe, and this is a while ago. Like, and Joe Quesada's whole pitch to him was, yeah, we're gonna have a black artist, a black inker, a black colorist, and a black writer. And Damian Scott, I heard him just say that he was like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Well, that was common around the early 2000s, or not even the 2000s, probably in the 90s. Like, people would get calls, like Brian Stelfreeze would get calls just because Marvel decided to do a Bishop miniseries. And it's like, oh, so you're calling me because I'm black and you're going to make a Bishop miniseries. And they would actually get offended. People would get offended for that. Like, that was a genuine thing. They wanted to work on whatever character that was the top selling book at Marvel and DC. I mean, these single issues were making royalties. They didn't care about a Bishop miniseries. So it's kind of weird. Like, I can't remember the guy's name, but there's a comic artist I like a lot. I can't not Carl Kerschel, it's somebody else, but he was being brought in, and I was excited when I saw him talking to my editor, and I was like, I really like your stuff. He's like, what are you working on? Yeah, we're talking about bringing back Milestone. And I was like, you fucking kidding me? Like, all the things you could do, and that's why you decided to hire him, was because you're bringing Milestone back. So you have to bring up, you have to find a black artist to work on it. I mean, it was just,
it's very silly.
Yeah.
It's very silly. All right. Tungsten XE goes, Ethan, remember you saying Comicsgate streams are getting boring? Well, I'm falling asleep. So low energy. You need sugar? Yeah, I think so. I'm like,
you look like you're about to fall over.
My back hurts from lifting boxes today. It really does. That was like hard work.
I almost said
Snowman
showed those boxes. I was going to ask who lifted them.
I did. I did all the work. Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell, Matthew Martin. And let me see, $4.99. This is controversial. Everybody's talking about $499 lately. And I'll tell you something. I'm watching the backers go up. I'm watching this get funded. People are saying, Ethan, what do you think of $499? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? I don't know. Haven't read it. That's all I will say. People want my opinion about Narwhal's art. I like Narwhal's art. People say, what do you think of Zach's coloring? I like Narwhal's art. So
there you go.
We'll see how $499 is. I have backed it. I hope you're backing it too. I'll back anything Zach does because I think he's interesting. Even if the end product isn't the best thing that he's done. Like Pandemic was not that good. It was a flawed story in a lot of ways. The artwork looked great. But it doesn't. It's like I still want to know what Zach's up to. Like, I got to know what comics he's doing. I'm kind of invested in his in everything that he does, his creative journey. And even when it drives me nuts, because I'm like, dude, Zach had this idea. And finally Zach said to me, because I said, no, you have to do this. Zach, you have to do this. And Zach said, no, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work. And I said, no, it will work. And it will bring Zach. It's a $500,000 idea. You have to do it. And finally he said, I can see you're passionate about it. Okay, maybe I'll do it. I said, no, now we're not doing it. Can't be me that's excited about this. You have to be excited about it. So I guess it's not going to happen.
Oh, that thing I heard about. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what it is,
That was a big idea. That was CG Gold. That was
I mean, I could, here's the thing. This idea, and it was a Jawbreaker's idea. I could pitch it to you in 3 seconds and get your interest. And that's how you know it's a good idea. When I can give you in 3 seconds a distilled pitch about what this is, and you go, holy shit, tell me more. That's how you know it's good. And that's what this was. And everybody would have wanted to have been involved. Shane Davis, you would have been involved.
Everybody would have been involved.
Oh my God. I said, I'm going to rent your characters. I'm going to do it myself. Because I mean, you could do it with Graveyard Shift, I guess. Would it be the same? Like, could he do it with John Malin? Could he do it with Graveyard Shift? Or it's just not. It's not as good. It's the whole thing about heroes for hire that makes it so interesting. Like being in real trouble and then needing some help and then going to the Jawbreakers. That should be like a constant theme. Like these guys are just like, we've done it all.
Wasn't that the A-Team? Wait, wasn't that the A-Team?
Yes. Yes. It's a super heroic A-Team. It worked for the A-Team. It's a formula that people like. It's exciting. But I love this idea of, and this Jawbreakers is so good fundamentally. It really is good on its own. You know, it's a good concept, and you could use it for big stories. You could use it for small stories. Zach has not even yet begun to explore who each of these characters are individually, personally. You know, you want to know which of them have drug problems. You want to know about their home lives. You want to know about all this stuff. You want to know if any of them have criminal records, if they're on the run from the law. Things like that are interesting. And then you build little mini soap operas around each one of them that carry on from one episode to the next. And Zach's, he should be making $1 million per book. $1 million per book. It drives me absolutely insane that he's got something that good that people are invested in. And he's just like, wow, you know. So this idea that, and I don't even want to say the idea.
No, you don't need to say the idea. Like, it's a good idea. I mean,
it's
if
so
you say
commercial.
the idea, you're just throwing it out there. I mean, I wouldn't do that.
It's so commercial. It is so commercial. It's like Mark Miller's The Watchmen kind of, whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow kind of meets sarcastic, super charismatic, pissed off former superheroes as G.I. Joe. Like it puts, not only that, like the whole thing distills what's happened to comics from Zach's point of view and makes it into a metaphor, which everyone can understand.
Did you ever read Planetary?
I think I read a few of them. Yeah,
there was some really good ones, and the idea kind of made me think back to it, even though it's different. It was just some of the similarities on there's some. It's got the same nerve to it.
The same balls? What do you mean?
Yeah, balls, like the stuff that they were doing with the Fantastic Four and stuff in Planetary. I don't know if you ever got into it that deep.
I didn't get into it that deeply because John Cassaday.
Yeah, I didn't like the artwork, but the concept that they were doing was pretty decent.
Ultra Star, Operation Supernova. We've got 9 minutes to back this. Just 9 minutes to save the world.
That's it.
Patrick's got 9 minutes. Save the world.
And I'm gonna point something out that's super awesome, and this shows everyone like how much we were growing over here. You know, this is our first 30 days, and we're already at 25,000. It took us 30 days. It took us 60 days to get to 25,000 with Johnny Phantasm. So again, you know, like the fan base is growing, and I want to thank everyone for getting down on this. I appreciate it. I mean, and this is good superhero stuff. This isn't like the fabulous X-Men, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is good superheroes and costumes, classic nostalgia, superheroes fighting giant robots. You know, this is gonna be fun stuff.
You added a new cover today too, also, right?
Yeah, I finally put up my cover. You know, speaking about the manga that the kids love, we did a Japanese fun cover here.
Ma'am, I can see your panty.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
It happens, you know. She can't control that blast behind her, you know. Yeah, so this cover comes also with the American dressing on it, you know, with the English writing in Ultra Level 3. And then if you like the Japanese cover, if you're a collector of Japanese stuff like I am, you can also grab this as well. So both these are up and available.
You know, call me a pervert. Call me a weirdo, but the reason why I like this new cover is because I can imagine that I am holding her by her fingertips like this. And I'm looking at her like this. I'm like, ha 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 ha. And she's small. She's maybe 12 inches tall, but I'm like holding her like that. And that's her reaction to me. She's like, huh. You know,
I gave her big Jersey hair, Ethan.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And I was trying to capture the idea of like the big hoops with the big stars. So,
yeah, it's good. All right, so back. You've got 9 minutes. You've got 7 minutes to back Ultra Star Operation Supernova 5, which is a very lengthy title.
Yeah, well,
we gotta go. We gotta fix this, guys. Ultra Star Operation Supernova, and Nova is. You see what I'm saying? And then it's part 5.
No, it's not part 5. It's the team is called Supernova 5. That's the 5 of them. It's like the Justice League. There are 5 of them.
It's a lot.
Well,
it's
maybe.
A lot of words.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of consideration because I got to go Ultra Star. Okay, the Ultra Star.
The next book,
Operation.
only two words. Two words. Two words.
Well, possibly, but here's the thing. Then I got to go, okay, Operation Super, and then I got to go, oh, fuck, what's Nova stand for? And then I got to go 5. What's 1 through 4?
Well,
it's a lot of consideration.
What I'll do is I'll take out Operation, and we'll start doing Supernova 5 and see how that works.
Better. Better. Not everything needs to be an operation. Not everything, you know. But who knows? Let me see here. Mike Murphy says, I love Zach and Jawbreakers, but 2 volumes in, I feel like I don't know who any of them are. Tons of potential, though. Yeah, I love the Jawbreakers. Angry Benneling praised the sun. Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate that. Yeah, let's talk about Jawbreakers for a minute, though, because I want to talk about it. Mr. Burger's here. He says, what can I do to be more hated by SJWs? Mr. Burger, I don't know. I don't know why you're not more hated, Mr. Burger. It doesn't make sense to me at all. You know, he says, Mr. Burger is 45 days away from streaming, and I have not pissed off enough people. Short of being a straight white male, what can I do to bring the hate? Are you not a straight white male?
Yeah.
Is that what he's saying?
I know he's into Russian women because he asked me if I was, and I was like, I just wear the clothes. I mean,
Yeah, Jawbreakers. I want to go through each one of these characters, and I want to establish who they are. I want to invent their life. I want to know, like, you know, wow, one of them's whole family was murdered. You know, they've all been doxxed and harassed. You know, they've all been doxxed, harassed, sexually and otherwise. We got to do that. You know, I've been doxxed. You know, that's the worst thing that can happen to a person. Yeah, I like this idea. The more I think about it, the more I like it. You know, one of the things that I said, Shane, was I said that what they should do to counter this threat is team up with, is go find this threat's arch enemy and team up with them. So you're actually working with evil to stop an even bigger evil.
I will say the idea, I mean, maybe the graveyard shift would work, but the idea is like almost like the plot is the book. Like, I don't.
We go to retired former superheroes and we say, please, you know, please, we need your help. And then they say, what do they say? They're sitting there lounged away in they're in some club, you know, just with kicking their feet up, and there's this desperation. We need your help. And they go, we've been wanting to kick that pretty boy pussy ass for a long time. Sounds like a good time to us. You know, fucking trust fund brat. I mean, it would be, think about that, Shane. Does that get you excited?
Yeah, I think they should be like in a strip club or something, though. Like
yes,
Tony Soprano type setup, you know, something like
God.
that.
Oh my God! Do you want to do it? Can we?
Have you tried talking to them again?
Last time I talked to him about it, I just said I'm not going to bother you about it ever again, because like he was like, "All right, I'll do it because you say so." Like I was like, "That's not what the." I need you to be so excited about it. I need you to be so motivated by it. I need you to be on fire with enthusiasm and excitement. I need you to be ready to promote this idea with passion and self-belief. If you can believe in your product.
I know where you messed up, actually.
Okay.
You didn't do what Dan Didio used to do to me all the time. You come up with 2 ideas. First, you hit them with the bad idea, and then you put them with your good idea, and they're like, well, it just makes the good idea sound even better.
Yeah, but I'm not pitching ideas to him. Okay. This is like, you know, he's got a bunch of ideas, and it's like that idea is good if you take it here, and if you take it here, it's $500,000. I promise you. I will never stop talking about it. Nobody will. Everybody will back it. Everybody will back this.
The book could have tons of Easter eggs, is all I'm saying.
Oh, you don't even know. Oh my God, dude. Oh, it could even cross over to certain aspects of Comicsgate characters, you know. One of the things that I was thinking you know, when I created the whole Cyberfrog Vespis world, is I was like, I want to go find my friends who were working on indie comics in the 90s and just say, look, it was all in one world. So what happened to them when the Vespis came? You know, I mean, I could do it with Dale Keown. I could just be like, what happened to Pitt? You know, you want to do a little short thing where we see what happened to Pitt? You know, let's do that. You know, I went to Billy Tucci. I said, I want to see She, you know, what happened to her? And these can all be alternate realities. You know, I expect the Vespis killed She, you know, or something. I don't know what. But I mean, just let's do an alternate what if kind of story where you see what would happen if all of these characters all existed in my world. And, you know, that's so cool. So just take a minute and be like, yeah, address like what happened to, you know, how everybody else is reacting to this situation.
I kind of always thought like a campaign like that with a bunch of other creators kind of pulled together like that into one campaign would do really well. Especially the problem is you need one person just to do all the fulfillment and stuff, which you can do, you know, so could be big.
I will do it. I would do it. I would do it. You know, I would do it. I would do it. Zach has been nothing but good for me. He's been a good friend. But not only that, not just being a friend, not just being a pal. Zach has been somebody who has his ideas, his work. He didn't even mean to do this, but diversity in comics helped get me through a very difficult time. And now I want to do that for other people. You know, I want to, you know, cancel culture is going to happen to a lot of people. It just is. And so, you know, it's just like I relied on diversity in comics videos to make me feel like I wasn't going crazy and I wasn't alone. You know, the things that he said were really helpful. His ideas kind of pointed me towards the direction that I should be going in the future. So I owe him an awful lot. I really do. I know a lot about making hit comic books, Shane. I know about making hit comic books. I might not know anything about drawing a rifle and then accidentally drawing it using photo reference and the safety is on. I might not know that. Zach would know that. He can correct me on that. But I do know about making hit comic books. I am connected to what is exciting in comics naturally and have always been, even when I was at DC Comics. Always. All of Jeff John's biggest, most exciting projects were with me. Why? Is it just that he saved the good ones for me? What's so special about me? No, it's just that I made them better. Either they were my idea or I made his initial idea better every single time. Now, I'm not saying that he can't do it by himself with other better artists. Look at Geiger, which is out right now. You know, Gary.
That is so weird that they all went to Image.
That's independence. That's their half step out of the mainstream. Image, you know. It's independence. They're not doing what we're doing yet, but because they're afraid to actually leave.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. It's work.
It just seems like Image Comics with what's going on with the mainstream. That's just kind of like, I don't know what you call it. It's like in Night of the Living Dead, you know, how they were like, don't go to the basement. That's the last place to go. It's just, that seems like, because they really get out there on a limb where, you know, Diamond maybe doesn't have to pay them their money. They do another shutdown like they did before or whatever. And they run out of town, you know, holding the cash and not paying the creators. You know, it just seems like a really scary place to go in these times.
Ethan, like I've been wanting to ask you, like, how do you feel about this subject I'm about to bring up? Because I hear people, you know, always ask me, and you know, it's like I've got my opinion on it, but I'm curious of what you think. I mean, CG is still kind of in its infancy. I mean, it's not even really it's definitely not 5 years old. It hasn't even been around 5 years. Like where do you see CG in 5 years from now?
I can't control what other people do. I will tell you that I will always be Comicsgate. I will all Caps Comics is going to continue. This is going to go on. And because Comicsgate is just a movement that's made up of a lot of different people who are going in a lot of different paths, we've seen personality conflicts that have caused all kinds of crises and hurt feelings and people splitting up. People have been talking about how Comicsgate is dead forever. Comicsgate as a movement, the comic book industry is gone. I remember Clint Sweetcast saying, a movement is like a tidal wave. It comes and it crashes on the shore, but it creates a lot of energy along the way. And what's important is what we build from that energy. So is Comicsgate still an active movement where it's like, we need to be fighting SJWs? For what? What are we fighting for? Like the mainstream is gone. Yeah. What's important is building something from this energy. What's important to me and has always been is just seeing what they're doing and doing something better, fixing it, making something that lasts. So the permanence of Comicsgate is just that I've adopted that, personally, I've adopted that word as meaning, it's my own personal struggle. It's my own personal belief system. And it guides and informs my own business. So I'm Comicsgate forever because Comicsgate means customer service first. It means keeping divisive, subject matter stuff that makes people feel excluded. Partisan politics. Try to keep that out of your comics because it's not good for business. That is what Comicsgate is. So I'm going to keep doing this. Where is it going to be in 5 years? I'm going to be 5 years. My God, who knows where I'm going to be in 5 years? If you had told me I was going to be here 3 years ago, it would have blown my mind.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like things are moving so fast. It's I always hear a lot of people like critiques about, well, can you do the campaign this way, or can you do the shipping this way or that way? And I'm like, this is all kind of like new for everyone. Like everyone is still trying to figure out exactly how to do this the best way possible. And what's great is it's like there's so many different like groups, that have their own little publications in here. So it's like everyone's doing different things, and it keeps it interesting for the readers. Like the way John Malin does a campaign, the way I do a campaign, the way you do a campaign. It's like it's like it gives people choices, and different adventures.
People will appreciate this because you grew up with siblings, but also I think people should take note of people to the left of you and right of you and learn from things other people do wrong. Not just everything. I mean, there's a lot of utility to that. Like if you see somebody make a mistake, note that mistake. I mean, and apply it and learn not to do that.
Cecil's back. He said, "Yeah, that's true. Actually, watching other people kind of crash and burn just lets you know how bad it is out there, and to steer your own craft carefully." Ultra Star has finished off its first 30 days and has landed 8 new backers, almost $25,000. Congratulations, Patrick.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. It's this is going great. I'm so stoked that people believed in the Johnny Phantasm project, and it kind of filtered over here, and getting momentum with this. I appreciate everyone so much, and I appreciate CG so much.
Where is Cecil? Why won't Cecil come in here?
Yeah, it was interesting. About 40 minutes ago, I heard a beep. You guys were talking. I didn't want to cut you off, but I heard a beep. I thought someone was backstage, but I guess no one's there.
No, Cecil has been like in a car. He's messing around.
Bodies, probably.
Where are you going to be in 5 years, Shane?
I don't know, actually. I mean, seriously, I think when I talked to you originally, and I was like, I think I'm on BCG. I said, like, I don't know where I'm going to be at in 10 years or 5 years. I mean, I know this. I seem to worry less being CG than when I worked in the mainstream, because at least I kind of have a little bit of control over what I'm doing. As long as fans go along for the ride with what I'm doing, I don't. It's CG in 5 years. I mean, so CG would be what, a response to the mainstream, a customer movement, kind of, right? So what happens where's the mainstream at in 5 years? Like I don't
even
know.
Knows. You don't have to compare yourself relative to the mainstream. I mean, that's The whole thing is just breaking away from it and going, what are your plans? Like, where do you hope to be in 5 years? And it doesn't really matter where they are. If they improve, that's good. You know, if they change their way of doing business, if they disappear, it makes no difference to me. It's like 5 years from now, I want to be a full-fledged publishing house with an enormous warehouse. I want to own some property that, you know, All Caps Comics warehouses will be located on. I want to hire people. I want to have about 10 employees. And this is what I wanted to do when we started this. I said, I want to build something that that exists only because of what happened, only because of the, you know, what we went through. Something will exist where one day I'll have a company picnic and I'll look at families and go, they're making money and they're paying their bills because of us. And that's going to feel good.
But there's something there that we're all missing. It's going back to what you talked earlier in the stream with that manga top 20. Manga's coming in and they're making cool shit off the audience that Marvel and DC abandoned. Like, they're the customers that are buying that. I mean, that's the sales records in the US.
We can get some of that.
That's what I'm saying. We can be doing that.
We can find that audience.
We can. I think we can. I think everybody's doing good with the YouTube. I think YouTube is a way to advertise and get out there to this audience. I mean, I get new people in my YouTube. They're like, I'm from this. I'm from Fandom Menace. I'm from, you know, different places. We have to, because I mean, manga obviously saw that opportunity, you know, and this goes back to the sibling thing, that we can see that Marvel and DC made big mistakes and they're paying for it. And, you know, manga said, well, if you're not going to sell to these people, we will. And, you know, I mean, I think that's kind of what everybody's doing in Comicsgate to some extent. I do think advertising's a big issue. I think we can get through it through YouTube and stuff. I think, you know, just being active, being out there in the community, you know, stuff like that. I think Comicsgate could grow. And I think somebody was talking about just campaigns being, for the most part, people with previous campaigns are all doing better. And that's because they're getting out there and selling themselves more.
Yeah.
They're getting out there selling their product more. And I think as long as people are aggressive. I mean, I want people to the left of me and I want people to the right of me to succeed. I want me to succeed. I want everybody wants everybody to succeed. It's just you also have to do something about it. You have to put in an effort out there and stuff. And you know, I think in the best way, this is all competitive. It's like, who's going to get out there and talk about their product, talk to their fan base, sell their product, you know. If everybody's out there and we're all doing it, we can, I mean, I think we could all be doing great in 5 years. I mean, a lot better than we are right now. I mean, Ethan, you've had tremendous growth. You know, John closed out the Graveyard Shift variant. I was on with him, and I mean, I don't have the numbers for the Huerta campaign, but he
beat it. He doubled it. I'm sure he doubled the Huerta campaign. But Comicsgate's successful as long as first of all, there's an independent movement that focuses on customer service first, and I'll just say customer service because that includes keeping your bullshit partisan nonsense out. Basically, the opposite. A movement that exists in reaction to behavior such as is displayed by Kelly Sudaconic in that video, where independent comics can succeed and people can make stuff without having to worry about, you know, racial insensitivity courses like the one we were just looking at Disney. We have to have something that exists outside of those margins. We cannot allow the world to be completely dominated by social justice warriors and all of their racist bullshit. We just can't. We got to have something that allows artists to be non-PC. So I think it's going to be here in 5 years. Of course, I don't know if it's still going to call itself Comicsgate. I always will.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting in the future if it's just like this is just comics. You know, it's like the mainstream just completely dies away, and it's like remember when we used to call ourselves CG? Now we're just the comic book industry because everything else went away. I really think that one day people are going to look at Superman and Batman, and they're gonna see like Elmer Fudd and like Bugs Bunny. Like it's gonna be old cartoons.
It's gonna be old IP that they just don't know what to do with. Yeah, and they're gonna need like some hot LeBron James.
Because,
or
like, I
something
mean,
to roll
look-
up to do Looney Tunes. Think about that, Looney Tunes, right? They need LeBron James to do Space Jam's. What is it? 2, 3, 3? Just no, they did a 2 with Brendan Fraser. I think it's Space Jam's 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or maybe I'm mixing that up.
Brendan
Whatever. They have to. They depend on an athlete to sell Looney Tunes because they don't understand intellectual property anymore.
Yeah.
And then they're sitting here canceling Pepe Le Pew or whatever. And that's exactly going to happen to DC Comics characters eventually, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a weird con I went to. I went to Italy. And we went to Pompeii, and I was with manga comic artists, and I was with Italian comic artists, and I'm the one American comic book artist. And this weird moment where I was making talk with this Italian guy, and he's like, "Yeah, the problem with the American comic book industry is you guys invested so much into superheroes." And I'm sitting here in what used to be, the city, what would have been in its dust, and I'm looking at people. Literally, you can look at Pompeii victims like in glass cases, right? And I'm looking at them like, wow. To stand somewhere where it can all be over just like that. And that always sat in the back of my head. And I was like, why is everything superhero comics now? Not saying it shouldn't be, but the mainstream comic industry, DC Comics used to have war comics. They used to have science fiction comics. And now everything's just superhero comics. And it's not selling, and they mishandled the superhero franchise. Plus, superheroes can be destroyed just by a shitty Brie Larson's movie. Think about that.
Mhm.
That's all it takes is her to rattle off something stupid as they're putting everything behind her. It's like we're so vulnerable to just politics and everything, and I don't know. I think like being I don't know. It's just weird. To watch the American comic book industry die is a weird thing.
Soon I'll be publishing Shane Davis. He's gonna,
It's gonna wear me down.
Soon I'll be publishing Jawbreakers, and I'll make Zach do it. This is the whole thing. My goal. People say, "Where do you want to be in 5 years?" I want to be making all of Zach's choices for him in terms of publishing. That's my ultimate goal, is to tell him what to do, and then publish. Write this, and then make millions and millions and millions of dollars for your boy Zach, and not let him do the things that he wants to do. That's my goal. You call that selfish, but my goal is to completely boss everyone around all the time. So I'll be publishing Cecil. No, not Cecil. I'll publish John Malin, not Cecil. For Christ's sake, what was I saying?
I am sharing something that Cecil would like us to show off. I don't know if you want to see it or not.
Come on, Jesus God Almighty!
I think you should publish this. I don't know why you would.
This would be
why
a
are you
great
going to gatekeep Cecil like that? Come on.
Oh my God, we got to have another auction. Cecil, hang on to that for the auction.
Oh my God,
you're looking at $2,000 right there, easily. By the way, Cecil, run that as an eBay next to J. Scott Campbell's, completely gay eBay auction,
and give it to. Don't wait. You have to do it to charity if he does that, though.
That would be funny. No, well, the charity would be him. Cecil would be the charity. That was the whole point.
Oh,
that would be good. That would be good. Snake Oiler says, "What the hell is that? What the hell is that?" And there's a banana there. Yes. All right. Yes, I am jealous. So what? So what if I'm jealous of Cecil? He's a enviable human being. All right. I want to thank you guys for being here tonight. I'm going to get to work. Tomorrow we begin the fulfillment process of the Incredible Starblades. Thank you to everyone who backed it. Thank you to everybody who waited for it. It's here at last. It's on its way. We're going to bag and board these. I'm going to figure out. I guess Kyle's going to come up here. We'll have to hang out with Kyle Ritter a little bit. See how that goes. Thanks, everyone. See you again soon with another video. Adios.